great one. The Flames won their last contest against the Hornell Dodgers last night. It's going to be a little more of an even matchup than I expected a couple days ago because the Nitros, yes, they're the league-leading team in the NYCBL, but they're 11-5 because they've lost their last 2 games.
Right.
They've been dominant, but they've been playing a lot of games and not quite as many days as of late, so they're a little tired, and the Flames may be able to take advantage of that tonight.
We'll see if they can. Riley Glenn getting the start on the bump tonight for the Flames, and Riley at home, I mean, he's a different animal. He usually can get ahead of his count, strike out a bunch of guys in a hurry, and when he's in a rhythm, I mean, he's untouchable.
Oh, yeah, he's a great pitcher for the Flames. One of their 4 great starters, has had a good start to the season in 3 games, 15 1/3 innings, ERA right around 3.5. He's 2-0 on the year in a very large tie for second place in the league in wins.
So here we go, about to get the first pitch underway. Leading off for the Nitros, Chandler Palias, the center fielder. Out of Clarion University, he's batting a .263 on the season as Riley Glenn gets the sign from Trace Peterson, and here's the first pitch of the ball game, missing outside for ball 1. But Peterson getting the start behind the plate, and him and Jake Zarot have still been switching back and forth between starting roles. They have that battle behind the plate all season long. Second pitch, cut on, but fouled. Count evens up at 1 strike. Palias has finished up his sophomore campaign. He has 11 runs scored, 3 RBIs, 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run on the season. The 1-1 from Glenn. Check swing, but did he go? He didn't, and it's going to be ball 2.
And Palias is also a transfer from Marietta College in Georgia.
Palias has 11 strikeouts on the season so far, so something to watch out. Makes sense, he's the leadoff hitter. This one cut on back towards the screen and fouled off. Count evens up at 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's 5'8", 165, native of Pennsylvania. Riley with the windup. Here's the 2-2. In there, cut off back towards the screen once again. We'll do the 2-2. Let's take you around the infield for the Flames. Starting on the mound, Riley Glenn behind the plate. Trace Peterson. Over at first is Mike Stefan. Brian Hart at second with Jake Evans at short and A.J. DiFilippo at third. We'll get you the rest of the lineup here after this pitch. The 2-2 from Riley Glenn. Cut on out, and it's going to be a foul ball, so we'll do the 2-2 once again. But outfield going from left to right. Adam Gordon's in left with Jack Chernow in center, and Mike Netzel getting a start in right field tonight. Pretty solid lineup out there for the Flames, Eric.
Well, there are some changes in the batting order when we get to it in the bottom half of the first inning, but the top 5 in the order, the same. The outfield, the exact same as last night. Brian Hart again at second base. A.J. DiFilippo again at third, but a couple guys getting back in the lineup tonight.
Here's the 2-2 from Riley Glenn once again, fouled off. So really nice first at-bat from Palias out there leading off things. How many pitches is Riley Glenn at now?
He is at 7 pitches, and this right here is the prototypical first at-bat of the game. If you're any leadoff hitter, especially when you're the first batter of the game, period. You have to make the pitcher work for the outs, send him a message that we're not going down quietly.
Palias watches that one bounce in the turf. Count goes to full. 3 balls and 2 strikes for the leadoff hitter. But, I mean, we've seen this from Riley Glenn before, a slow start, but you can always expect him to rebound really well if he does end up giving the walk. But either way, full count. Here's the payoff from Glenn. Cut on. This is going to drop down for a base knock at least. Could be 2. Palias rounding first base. Palias getting the second. Ball still isn't picked up. Palias going to third. Palias is going to hold up at third, and he's going to have a leadoff triple standing up at third base for the Nitros.
And he just showed off the offensive firepower for the Nitros with one swing of the bat. Got the triple because he has speed, and the ball didn't really bounce well off the wall. It just stayed at the warning track. Both Chernow and Netzel had to hustle to get to it, but it shows off the speed of the Nitros. It's their 5th triple of the year, and they're among the league leaders in the team batting stats.
Well, someone from the Nitros came ready to play. Either way, leading up or leading next off for the Nitros is Cyrus Grimes, the left fielder. First pitch for Grimes, bouncing in the turf for ball one. Grimes is probably one of the better hitters on this club. He's batting .500 on the season. He's also scored 18 runs and has 19 RBIs, so Polias could be coming home here quickly. The 1-0 from Glenn. Just missing the strike zone. Count goes to 2-0.
Well, Grimes is a leading hitter on a leading offense. He leads the league in batting average. He's tied for first in the league in home runs. He's second in RBIs. Looking for a triple count early on, but that's very premature.
Next pitch is missing again. Ball 3. Riley Glenn struggling just a little bit here with the first two batters. Surrenders the triple to lead things off. And now 3 straight balls for a 3-0 count on Cyrus Grimes. The 3-0 from Glenn. And it's going to tag Cyrus Grimes in the leg. That one got away from Riley Glenn. And, you know, Eric, you and I and Brandon as well, we've all interviewed Riley. We've talked to him, and he talks about that grip and control on the fastball. Clearly doesn't have the best grip on the fastball right now.
No, he doesn't, but he needs to find that rhythm pretty quickly, or Wellsville's going to take a big lead here in the first inning. What you look for here from Riley, though, is it's okay if you get a ground ball double play and the Nitros score a run, as we see, I guess, a warning from the field umpire because the Nitros dugout has been shouting the whole game.
They sure have.
But like I was saying, a ground ball, if you're the Flames, you trade a double play for an out here. That's what you want. That's essentially what you want, even though you don't want to give up a run.
And now we have the home plate umpire going over to the dugout of the Nitros, just confirming that the chirping needs to maybe quiet down. I'm not sure if it's chirping directly at the umpires either way. See if we can get things back underway. As runners on the corners. John Bellavante is coming back to the plate here for the Nitros. Runners on the corners, no outs, and Riley Glenn struggling just a little bit. This pitch in the turf for another ball. So that's 5 straight balls thrown by Riley Glenn, and he needs to find it here in a hurry.
Well, and getting back to the Wellsville dugout, this is the same way the Flames got a warning in the 10th inning last night. Their guys were shouting and cheering on their team really loudly, and it annoyed the umpires.
Here's the second pitch. In there for a strike. There's a nice bounce back from Riley Glenn. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Bellavante batting a .303 on the season. He has 14 runs scored with 14 RBIs as well, with runners on the corners in great position for this Nitros team to score the first run of the ball game. And Cyrus Grimes is going to go stolen base, nice jump and steal. That's going to be his 12th stolen base on the season. He's now 12 for 14 on stolen bases, and this is a team, Eric, a lot of guys can steal.
Oh, yeah, a lot of guys can steal. The Nitros are up there in stolen bases, tied for 5th in the league with 32 of them through 16 games.
32 stolen bases and
now 33, actually.
33. 2 balls, 1 strike. There it is in there for the 2-2. So finding the strike zone is Riley Glenn. But with 2 runners in scoring position now, with no outs here in the top of the first inning, Flames in a bit of a sticky situation to see if Riley Glenn can dial back in on the mound. Glenn gets the sign from Peterson. Here's the 2-2. Cut on back towards the screen. We'll do the 2-2 once again. But, you know, with no outs here, Riley Glenn just needs to calm down and find his zone out there on the mound. No one else is really going to save him at this point besides himself. Glenn's going to step off the rubber and then look back in for Peterson, see what the sign is. He still has another pitch to play with as the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Cut on and miss, but Peterson is unable to hold it in his glove, and it's going to be a foul ball.
Yeah, Benevolent got a little too much of it for Peterson to be able to catch the foul tip for strike 3.
So Benevolent at the plate here, 2 balls, 2 strikes with runners in scoring position. On second, Cyrus Grime, and Polias is over there at third still, as he had the leadoff triple to start things off. Here's the 2-2. Cut on and missed, and Riley Glenn gets his first strikeout victim of the ball game. And Eric, that's exactly what Riley Glenn needs to do to find his rhythm on the mound.
Well, it's exactly what he needed, just to get it out,
Right.
to hold the runners where they are, and that was the guy to get out with an unproductive strikeout. Because John Benevolent, for him, that's his 20th strikeout on the season, which is a whole lot more than anybody else in the Nitro squad.
It sure is. This is going to bring up Grayson Williams, the right fielder, on the evening with one down here in the top of the first. Two runners in scoring position for the Nitros. Here's the first pitch from Riley Glenn. Cut on and missed for strike one. Grayson Williams from Mobile, Alabama, attends Spring Hill College, batting at .285 on the season. He is 16 for 55 at the plate so far. So let's see if he can get his 17th hit or if Riley Glenn can collect another strikeout. Here's the 0-1. Cut on miss right back towards Riley Glenn. Jake Evans scoops it up, going to get it over there in time for first, but it's going to score the first run of the ball game as Polias comes home on the sacrifice there, or I should say, I guess the fielder's choice to throw at the first base, but either way, Nitros go up 1-0 here in the top of the first.
RBI ground out for Williams, and that's okay. It's a productive out for the Nitros, but you trade an out for a run.
Right.
And that's exactly what you need if you're the Flames, just to get that second out, and now you can focus solely on the batter to get out of the inning, giving up only one.
Here's Andres Perez coming up to the plate here, number 17 for the Nitros. First pitch for Perez, missing for ball one, but Perez out of the Bronx. He's batting a .301 on the season, attends Clark College. 7 runs scored, 6 batters. He is batted in on the season. The 1-0 from Riley Glenn. In there for ball 2. Count goes to 2-0. Perez has 1 triple, 2 doubles. He is 8 for 9 on stolen bases as well. So this is another guy, if he gets on, watch out. The 2-0. Just getting the outside corner for a strike. Count goes to 2-1. The 2-1. Cut on back, see if anyone can get there. Jake Evans can, and that's going to be the third out of the inning. So Flames surrender 1 hit, score a run, or surrender a run as well. Leave 1 Nitro on base, and that's going to do it for the top of the first inning. We're going to be right back here on Team Line. Well, welcome back to the Onondaga Flames Team Line live stream. I'm Morgan Chapman alongside Eric Moon to give you the bottom of the first inning. On the mound for the Nitros is Daniel Sabbath. Sabbath is coming into this ball game. He has pitched 15 innings with a 6 ERA, 12 strikeouts, 3 walks surrendered. Also has surrendered 22 hits, but has a 2-1 win-loss record. Solid pitcher on the mound for the Nitros.
Well, and he's out of Jefferson University, formerly Philadelphia University, but Philly and Jefferson combined to form one school just a year ago. He's majoring in business management. His relative, Anthony, actually graduated from Philadelphia University in 1972.
Ooh, look at that. A nice nugget of information there from Eric Moon as Jack Cherno is going to lead things off. We'll run you through the lineup as the game goes on, but Jack Cherno will lead things off. Adam Gordon will bat second, playing left. Mike Netzel bats third, playing right. A.J. DiFilippo is fourth. Brian Hart batting fifth. Casey Kretsch batting sixth. Mike Stefan seventh. Trace Peterson eighth. And Jake Evans batting ninth. But Jack Cherno, heck of a season so far, batting .389 coming into this ball game. Eric, what do you have on him? And how did he play last night?
His name is Jack, but you might as well call him Steady Eddie because he's very consistent. He gets about 2 hits per night at the plate.
Sure
Goes
does.
2 for 4, 2 for 5, puts together quality at-bats consistently. He's the prototypical leadoff man for the Flames.
He sure is. First pitch from Sabbath is in there for strike one, but we'll have to ask him if he likes that nickname. If it should, it looks like it should stick with him though, because he's been, like Eric said, almost every night you can count him to get 1 or 2 hits, and it's always at the right time too in the ball game. Here's the 1-0 cut on. Should be an easy grounder. This is Perez over to first, and there's the first out of the inning. But that one, I think his aggressiveness got ahead of him there.
Just a little bit, but it's a breaky ball that's in the strike zone, and he just rolled over towards second base. Maybe he just wanted to foul it off that time. Just not quite.
Not quite. Bringing up Adam Gordon, the left fielder. Adam Gordon, another player that's having a pretty successful season at the plate, batting .292. He's 14 for 48 on the season. Scored 10 runs for the Flames. First pitch for Adam Gordon from Sabbath is in there. So home plate umpire is going to call that the lower half of the outside corner, Eric.
Well, and getting back to the Flames batting order, the top 5 guys are the exact same as last night, and their positions too. Cherno, Gordon, Netzel, DiFilippo, and Hart. It's the bottom 4 that changes from one night ago.
Interesting strategy from Mike Cordero. 0-1. Right in there for strike 2. So nice pitching so far from Sabbath. But, I mean, that just kind of tells me, Eric, that he didn't get the most out of his bottom 4 in the lineup, or he just wants to see some different looks out there against this Wellsville's team that can really score a bunch of runs in a hurry.
I don't think it's either. I think he's just trying to give everybody a chance in the order, give everybody a spot start if necessary.
0-2 cut on down the left field line for a foul ball, but I agree too. I think that everyone really needs to get a chance because some of these guys haven't played some ball in a little while. So
exactly,
and that's kind of the thing. We haven't seen players like Marshall win either in a decent amount of time. So it's just getting these players to give them their opportunities because they came here to play some baseball. They didn't play here or come here to sit in the dugout all summer. But either way, the 0-2 for Adam Gordon. Cut on back towards the screen towards us. We'll do it again.
Well, compared to these other players, Marshall Wynn is a unique case because he got hurt against the Syracuse Spartans on June 10th. I talked to Flames president Wayne Walker just before game time, and he doesn't know. He actually didn't see the injury to Wynn, so he doesn't know of his status at all with the team. So we're looking to find that out.
And during that game, I believe he rolled his ankle sliding in the second base.
That's exactly what happened.
It looked pretty ugly at the moment. So let's see if he can come back. 0-2. In there, so a call to strikeout. Looking at him, Gordon is trying to get a check from the home plate umpire, and he's explaining why his decision was to call him a strikeout victim. But either way, 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning for the Flames, bringing up Mike Netzel.
Well, if you don't like a call, that's how you do it. You just talk to the home plate umpire, get some clarification on the strike zone, spread the information around to your fellow teammates too.
Sabbath winds up. First pitch from Netzel is outside for a ball, but I totally agree with you, Eric. You have to be able to communicate with the referees, the umpires, whatever sport you're playing, but you have to do it in a conservative manner where you're not going to offend them in any way. Obviously, Adam Gordon just got clarification. He did his job there. The 1-0 in there for a strike, so count evens up at 1 ball, 1 strike, and a lot of these guys, I mean, they're good guys. You know what I mean? They're not going to be out there mouthing off to the umpires or getting themselves in trouble, and Adam Gordon just getting some clarification there. The 1-1 in there for strike 2. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, don't be willing to have a conversation with the umpire or the referee in whatever sport you're playing in, because they're more likely to be honest with you if you're just having a conversation with them than if you're yelling in their face.
Totally agree. The 1-2. In there for strikeout. So the second strikeout victim looking is Mike Netzel. Quick 1-2-3 from Sabbath. No hits, no errors, no runners left on base with no one scoring. We'll go into the top of the second inning here on Team Line. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Onondaga Flames Team Line live stream. I'm Morgan Chapman alongside Eric Moon to get you caught up here in the top of the second inning. The Wellsville Nitros lead 1-0 here in the top of the second. J.D. Isbell, the third baseman, is going to lead things off here for the Nitros as Riley Glenn comes out for his second inning of work. First pitch on Isbell, in there for strike one. And that's exactly what Riley Glenn needs to do, Eric. Get ahead of these batters so he can play with some more pitches.
Well, baseball's a mental game, and strike one in any inning is big for your confidence.
Riley Glenn on the 0-1. Here it is. Cut on, popped up. Should be easy pickings for Mike Netzel, and he isn't able to make the play. Mike Netzel lets it drop. Isbell's going second. Isbell's rounding second base, going to third, and the ball still isn't thrown in. Finally, over to A.J. DiFilippo, but Mike Netzel with an error. It's going to be scored as an E9, I believe, but I mean, Mike Netzel, or it's going to be a base knock, according to Eric Moon. But either way, that one, we're going to go with a triple there for Isbell. But either way, Mike Netzel, just the sun's in his eyes. He misread the ball a little bit. Then he tried to get back, but not in time.
Well, there's a reason it's a triple. It's because he didn't make contact with it. He misjudged the fly ball, but technically he didn't make an error on that play.
So this pitch from Riley Glenn is outside for ball one. This is Dusty Rogers coming up in a huge position for the Nitros. They could add to their lead. Back-to-back leadoff triples and back-to-back innings for the Nitros. This one cut off back towards the screen for Dusty Rogers. Rogers plays his college ball at Gulf Coast University, or Gulf Coast Community College. It must be a sister school of Florida Gulf Coast, I imagine. He's batting a .368 on the season. 4 runs scored, 3 RBIs, as that pitch is inside for ball 2. Count goes to 2-1. But Dusty Rogers, 8 for 19 on the season, 3 doubles, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. The 2-1 cut on back towards us again. We'll do the 2-2 for Dusty Rogers.
And getting back to the fly ball for a second, Netzel losing the ball was a combination of him misjudging it initially and also the sun getting in his face, because the sun is setting to the southwest of us, which is pointing right directly at Mike Netzel at the moment. So he misjudged it, but also the sun was in his eyes, so once he misjudged it, he lost it and had no chance of making the catch.
Well, the 2-2 is high, missing 4. Ball count goes to full. But, Eric, I played this travel summer league thing with one of my friend's brothers when I graduated high school, and I played in the outfield. It was for like 10, 15 games, and I remember the first thing they told me is never take your first step should be backwards, not forwards, and that's exactly what we saw with Mike Netzel on that one there. He took the step forward, then realized that ball's going further than he thought, had to take a couple of steps back on the fly, and the sun, those two things coming into factor on the triple. Here's a payoff pitch. Cut on and missed for the strikeout number 2 for Riley Glenn on the mound. He looks dialed in out there. Besides, that last play should have been an easy out, and he looks like he's finding his rhythm on the mound for sure.
I tell you what, he knows when to get a strikeout. He got a strikeout in the last inning with runners on second and third and nobody out. Now with a runner on third and nobody out. He needs another unproductive out here.
I totally agree with you. Bringing up Riley Hinckley, the first baseman. First pitch outside for ball 1 for the first baseman. Hinckley plays his college ball at Kentucky Wesleyan College. He's batting a .286 on the season. But he is an RBI threat, has 5 of them to be exact. See if he can drive in one from J.D. Isbell. This one popped up. Mike Stefan trying to get underneath it. Could go out of play. Stefan, and this one's going to just get inside the ballpark. Stefan slides, trying to make an effort. I love the effort from Mike Stefan, but not going to be able to make the catch. Count evens up at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, it's a tough catch to make because that ball ticked off the fence.
Yeah.
He might have been able to make the catch without leaping into the fence, but it's a tough play nonetheless.
Still have to admire the hustle for him and Brian Hart to get over there, but unable to make the play with 1 down here. Riley Glenn still trying to protect on the mound with a runner on third base. Hinckley comes back into the batter's box and is ready for the 1-1. Riley Glenn gets the sign. Here's the 1-1 right towards his head, ducking, getting out of the way. Count goes to 2-1. And Eric, we've seen him already hit one of the batters. Now that one looked like it got away from him again.
Yeah, just fastball that got away, simply put.
2-1 here. See if Riley Glenn can find the strike zone once again. 2-1. Breaking ball in there for a strike. So count evens up 2 balls and 2 strikes. And when Riley Glenn can mix it up when he gets the grip on the fastball and can mix in those breaking balls, I mean, like I said earlier, he's almost untouchable. One of the better pitchers in the league as the infield comes up, toes on the inside turf. For Mike Stefan, Brian Hart, and Jake Evans.
Well, I'm a little surprised DiFilippo's a little further back because he's the guy that has to check on the runner at third if a ground ball comes his way.
We'll see if he moves up. It doesn't look like he's going to, though. 2-2. This one cut on right back towards Brian Hart, unable to make the play, and it's going to score another Nitros run. So that one's going to make contact with the glove, so it should be ruled as an E4 on Brian Hart. No, it's not. It's a base knock from Hinckley there. It's going to be an RBI single to score the second run of the ball game for the Nitros.
Well, it's a good effort by Brian Hart. He dived to try and make the snag at second, just ticked off his glove, almost able to get it, but the Nitros get that second run on the board.
And you have to believe if he was in normal playing position, he probably would have been able to make the routine play there. But Nitros go up 2-1. First pitch is cut on. This is number 19, Preston Stringer.
And I'm not sure if Hart was going to be able to make that play. It would have been a tough play to make regardless. Yes, he may have been able to make the diving stop, but it's a 50-50 shot either way, whether he's playing in or not.
So this one, missing low, count evens up at the ball, and a strike for Preston Stringer, the designated hitter on the evening. He's from Perkinston, Massachusetts, or I should say Mississippi. The 0-1 from Riley Glenn, way past Trace Peterson. Hinckley's going to easily advance to second base standing up, and Riley Glenn, mental errors starting to pile up for this ball club just a little bit. But Stringer, he has 5 runs scored, 1 RBI on the season. He's batting at .286. Also has 3 doubles. 2-1 count here with 1 down in the bottom, or the top of the second inning. Riley Glenn, here's the 2-1. Cut on right back towards Brian Hart. This time he's able to make the play over to Mike Stefan for the out, but it advances Hinckley to third base. Bringing up the top of the order here with Chandler Polias, who had the triple to start the game off, came around the score as well the first time up.
And those are 2 really tough plays to make if you're Brian Hart against the last 2 hitters. He was able to make this one this time on a nice sliding grab, did a little 180 after making the grab, threw it right on target at first base for the out.
Really nice play. Let's see if Polias can have back-to-back hits here as he's 1 for 1 on the night with the triple. Squares the bunt, pulls back in time. Either way, it's a strike.
I like the call to bunt if there's less than 2 out, but
Yeah.
there are 2 outs in the inning. A bunt single, very hard to get with any outs.
The 0-1. Cut on, popped up. This should be easy pickings for Adam Gordon. He's underneath it. And that's going to do it. So that will be the third out. And the Nitros add another one here in the top of the second inning. They pick up 2 hits, leave 1 runner on base, score a run, and no errors. We'll be right back for the bottom of the second inning on Team Line. Welcome back to the Onondaga Flames Team Line live stream. We're here in the bottom of the second inning as the Flames trail the Nitros 2-0. AJ DiFilippo is leading things off, and Eric, he had a big night last night.
Yeah, big night. 6 RBIs against the Hornell Dodgers a night ago. Like I said in the pregame, that baseball looked like a beach ball to him. He was pounding it.
AJ DiFilippo batting a .350 on the season. Been a very nice addition for this team. Here's the first pitch for DiFilippo. Cut on back towards the screen for strike 1. But DiFilippo, he is 14 for 40 at the plate. He has 15 RBIs. 5 of them coming in last night's game, but just been a terrific player at third base for the Flames ever since he's come in from Columbia. The 0-1 popped up. Should be easy pickings. Grimes underneath it out and left. Shortstop makes the play. And there's the first out of the inning. So Benevolent making the play out there for the Nitros, bringing up Brian Hart, second baseman. Brian Hart batting a .277 on the season. Daniel Sabbath winds up for Brian Hart. Here's the first pitch. Squares the bunt, gets her down. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to beat this one out, and he won't for the second out of the inning. Just unfortunate roll on that bunt.
Well, it's a game of inches. Baseball's a mental game, and it's also a game of inches. If that ball goes a little further left, if it even goes down the third base line, stays fair, that's a hit for Hart. But it went right back to the pitcher Sabbath, and it turns into an easy out, number 2.
Well, here, bringing up Casey Kretsch, the number 10 out of Lemoyne College. Go Fins, always. 2 outs here. See if Casey can get the offense sparked up for the Flames. First pitch for Kretsch. In there for strike 1. And they saw Casey on the mound last night just a little bit, right,
That is
Eric?
correct. He pitched 2 innings last night, didn't give up a run. Allowed 1 hit, 1 walk, struck out 1.
Showing his versatility as he's in the batting lineup the next night. Second pitch in there for strike 2, and now Kretsch has to be careful as Sabbath has 2 strikeout victims, both looking so far. Casey adjusts his helmet and his gloves. Here's the 0-2. This one cut on down the right field line, but fouled. We'll do the 0-2 again.
Well, something I always preach is pound the zone. And Daniel Sabbath has been doing a great job of that for Wellsville so far this game. He's thrown 17 pitches, Only one pitch has missed the zone to this point.
Casey's batting a 333 on the season. He has 3 hits on 9 at bats. He's appeared in 6 games for the Flames. Here's the 0-2. Thought about going around, but he didn't. Holds back. So 1 ball and 2 strikes for Casey Kretsch.
Well, the Flames need a quality at bat big here because I mentioned the pitch count for Sabbath. It's not very high at this point. It's actually pretty low, and you need to make him work for the outs.
So the 1-2, here it is. Casey pops it up. This one should be easy. Perez underneath it, and there it is. So for the 3rd out. So Flames go up, 3 down once again. Heading into the top of the 3rd inning, Eric Moon will be taking over the play-by-play duties here on Team Line.
Welcome back to OCC Stadium for the top of the 3rd inning between the Wellsville Nitros and the Onondaga Flames. Eric Moon, Morgan Chapman with you tonight. Brandon Ross is on assignment this evening as the Nitros have taken an early lead on the Flames with a run in each of the first 2 innings. 2-3-4 in the Wellsville order this time around, and their leading hitter, Cyrus Grimes, steps up to the plate to begin the top of the 3rd inning. Riley Glenn on the bump for his 3rd inning of work. Here's the first one. And the fastball just misses the outside corner for ball 1, the count 1-0. And so far, Cyrus Grimes, he's seen 5 pitches at the plate against Riley Glenn. All 5 have missed the zone, including a hit batsman in his last at-bat. As the 1-0 misses low again, 2-0.
And Cyrus Grimes is probably still feeling that last hit by pitch as it tagged him right in the leg.
Well, you can tell with a hit by pitch whether it hurts or not based on where the ball goes.
Right.
After it hits the batter. If it drops right out in front, it's going to hurt a little bit. As the 2-0 misses low and away. It's 3 balls and no strikes to Grimes. But if it ticks off the batter, maybe it just deflects off him to the backstop or towards one of the dugouts, then it's okay. Unless it hits the head. Then that's a little rough. As the fastball gets the inside corner, Grimes didn't think so. And he started running down the first base side. It is strike 1. The count now 3 balls and 1 strike to Cyrus. Out of the University of South Alabama. Did not get any action with the Jaguars this season. As here's the 3-1. Breaky ball is a beauty on the outside corner. It's strike 2. The count runs full now to 3 balls and 2 strikes after Riley Glenn's 50th pitch of the night. Through 2+ innings now. Here's the payoff, and the fastball just misses the outside corner for ball 4. Riley Glenn surrenders his first walk of the night, and Wellsville gets their leadoff man on for the 3rd consecutive inning to begin the night, and home plate umpire has issued a warning to both Cyrus Grimes and Riley Glenn. So that's 3 warnings issued in this game already, Morgan Chapman.
Yeah, it sure is, and things are getting chippy early on, but, Riley Glenn just probably releasing some of his anger out on the mound. Perhaps maybe Cyrus Grimes tripped him first, but either way, Robert Anders out there on the mound to give some words of encouragement to Riley Glenn. And usually, Eric, after these mound meetings we see, the pitcher can switch it up just like in a snap of a finger. So we'll see how that goes as head coach Mike Cordero is talking to the home plate umpire, trying to get some clarification over that last situation.
And so is Tucker Hughes, the head coach for the Wellsville Nitros. Both of them trying to get clarification from the umpires, so that means a little more time for Riley Glenn, the infield, and Trace Peterson to talk with Robert Anders, figure out what their plan of action is going forward with the next batter, John Benevolent.
And think about this, Eric. This would be a completely different ball game if Mike Netzel if he was able to make that play, because then you don't have a runner on third, that you're not able to score that run. So for Riley Glenn, he's really not doing too terrible out on the mound. He just needs to find his composure. We've seen Gabe Golub surrender 5 runs in the first inning of a ball game, and then the Flames battle themselves back into it. We spoke about this on the pregame, how the Flames, their resilience is always on display night in and night out. This is going to be another game where they have to battle back into it.
Well, it still would have been a 1-0 lead for Wellsville if you do the math in that second inning, because if that fly ball catch was made, fly out, strike out, then a base hit, and then an out after that.
Right.
Just if you do the math. That's all we're doing here. Even though we're not that great at math, so we might even be wrong on that.
I'll tell you what, Eric, you're probably a little bit better at it than I am, but either way.
Robert Anders now off the bump, and the conversation ends between the infield, Trace Peterson, Riley Glenn.
And I spoke with Robert Anders after one of the ball games last week, and he was talking to me, and he was like, I'm sorry I'm such a quiet guy, but deep down, if we want to have a conversation about baseball, I can talk your ear off. So he's a real quiet, low-key guy, but he's out on the mound. He can really deliver a strong message to whatever pitcher's out there for the Flames.
Well, as a pitching coach, you have to know what to say and when to say it and how often.
Right.
To help your pitchers get in a rhythm and stay in a rhythm. Find a groove on the mound and pitch well for your team. So the batter is the shortstop, John Benevolent. He struck out swinging his first time up. First one, him from Glenn, is a beautiful breaking ball on the inside corner. Terrific bounce back pitch for strike one. Benevolent, the right-handed batter, against Glenn, the right-handed pitcher, with a runner on first and nobody out. Here's the 0-1, and the breaking ball finds the dirt. However, the check swing, Benevolent did go according to the home plate umpire. It's strike 2, the count, no balls and 2 strikes quickly in the at-bat.
Love the quick pop-up there from Trace Peterson with the awareness that there could be a runner trying to steal second base.
Did keep the ball in front of him, so the chances of the runner going from first were slim. 0-2, breaky ball. Finds the dirt. Peterson gets it off the hop. It's ball 1, the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Benevolent out of Mineral Area Junior College. He'll be entering his sophomore season in the fall. Here's a 1-2 from Glenn. A breaking ball ticks off Peterson, bounces up in the air to the left side and away from him towards the backstop. But it was strike 3, according to the home plate umpire, on another check swing. So Benevolent's on first base. Rather, time is called by the home plate umpire now. Benevolent standing to the right of first base, but however, because the runner was at first, despite the fact that Grimes took second base in the wild pitch, Benevolent is out, which is what he is contesting. Usually the runner doesn't even go with a runner on first base because he can't.
So we're going to rule that as a strikeout, but Benevolent is out because Grimes took second base, correct?
That is correct. A wild pitch.
You can hear that
for Grimes.
Nitros dugout really getting loud now.
First one to Grayson Williams as a swing and miss at a fastball for strike 1, the count 0-1. It has been a pretty chippy game from the get-go, as 3 warnings have been issued. 1 to the Wellsville bench, 1 to Cyrus Grimes, and then 1 to Riley Glenn as the breaky ball is chopped foul to the left side.
Eric, I don't know what it is about playing here at OCC, but it seems like always the visiting team just has some more life and some more spirit where they have to chirp just a little bit more than the Flames.
Second time in the span of 8 days. Span of a week, rather, that a team has come into OCC from the Western Division, brought a little chippiness, let's just say, to the ballpark. Here's the 0-2. And Williams grounds one hard up the middle. Hart makes the snag near the second base bag. The throw to first is in time for the second out of the inning. Meanwhile, Grimes moves on to third base, but there are 2 away.
And that chippiness just has to fire up the Flames, the infield and the outfield as well. All these players have to be getting sick of hearing their dugout come to life.
It should fire them up, but also it proves to be a distraction a little bit to the players. They just have to play their game and avoid the distractions from the other squad. As here's Andres Perez. He takes a breaking ball in the zone for strike 1, the count 0-1.
And ever since that mound visit from Robert Anders, I mean, Riley Glenn has really flipped the switch.
He's been in a groove. To this point, he has only missed with one pitch since the walk to Grimes. As here's the 0-1. Fastball is popped up left side. That might drop in for a base hit. It does in fair territory. Scoring is Cyrus Grimes, and Andres Perez drives in the Nitros' third run of the game. For Perez, that is his 7th RBI of the year, and that's 3-0 Wellsville. That brings up J.D. Isbell, who tripled to right field his last time up. That is with an asterisk, of course, as the throw over to first is not in time. That is with an asterisk because
I'm with you on the play, though. I don't think it hit his glove at all. I really don't.
it is tough to see for us up here. Netzel had some problems with the sun trying to make the catch on the fly ball. As the 1-0, rather the first pitch, rather, is up and away for ball 1. 1-0, the count to J.D. Isbell. So it's tough for us to see whether it hit the glove or not. We say it did not hit the glove. Some of our fellow interns in the box to the left of us say it did tick off his glove. Throw to first is not in time, but a close play. As Andres Perez was trying to be a distraction on the base pass, we've seen that's been a theme of the year, and that's a theme of this league. You know, there isn't a whole lot of power from most guys, so when you get on base, you have to be a distraction. As another throw over to first is not in time to get Perez.
And Riley Glenn, he's another guy who's a great personality for this team, but if he gets fired up, you can see him start shouting some things, and he just did at the second base umpire.
Breaking ball finds the outside corner, strike 1. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. As Isbell steps in once again. Came around to score after the leadoff triple. As the fastball's up and away for ball 2. The count 2 balls and 1 strike. He scored on the RBI single from Ryan Hinckley. So the Nitros, they have the most power in the league. They're second in the league in home runs, first in doubles, first in batting average, first in hits per game. As the throw over to first is not in time. But they've scored with a little bit of small ball. They're good situational hitting. They have a couple RBI singles and RBI ground out to get a run on the board in each of the first 3 innings. 2-1. Fastball just misses the upper third of the zone. Isbell thought about offering at it, but he chose not to. And he has a good hitter's count now, 3 balls and 1 strike. For Isbell, the triple was his first of the year, the 5th of the year for the team. As here's the 3-1, the runner goes, and the breaking ball just misses high for ball 4. Perez slides in anyway, but he's in safely no matter what. Second walk served by Riley Glenn in this contest, second one in the inning. Runners on first and second, 2 away. Here's the catcher, Dusty Rogers. Rogers on the year, batting .368. This is his 10th game of the year. For Wellsville, they're 17th on the season tonight. He is 14 of 40 at the plate. He's 8 of 19 entering this one. He is now 8 of 20 after the strikeout swing in the last inning as he fouls one back. Actually, those stats are probably not correct given his batting average. We talked to the Wellsville broadcaster frequently throughout the game. Frequently before the game. And there are a lot of statistical errors for the Nitros as he lines one to center field and it drops in front of Cherno. Stopping at third base is Perez, and the bases are loaded with 2 away. So the batter now for the Wellsville Nitros is Ryan Hinckley, trying to put a crooked number on the scoreboard for the Nitros in this inning. They've put up 1 in each of the first 2 innings. They've put up 1 so far here in the 3rd inning. We apologize for that brief video interruption. As here comes the first one to Hinckley, and the fastball stays high. It's ball 1, the count 1-0. Hinckley drove in a run with an RBI single in the second inning to put Wellsville up 2-0 at the time. For Hinckley, it was his 6th RBI of the season. Here's a 1-0 from Glenn, and the fastball's low and away, dug out of the dirt by Peterson for ball 2. Count now 2 balls and no strikes to the Wellsville first baseman. Jimmy Flahive up at the pen for the Flames, as Riley Glenn is at 69 pitches so far in this game.
Definitely not what you want to see if you're Riley Glenn. And with bases loaded with 1 down, Eric, he's in a sticky situation.
And not the nicest of pitch counts early on in this one in the 3rd inning, as the 2-0 is low for ball 3. The count 3 balls and no strikes on a breaking ball that just dipped below the zone. So Glenn is in danger of walking in a run here in the 3rd inning. And with this Nitros offense, you don't want to get behind too much early in this game. Get me over fastball finds the zone for strike 1, and the count now 3 balls and 1 strike to Hinckley. Hinckley attends Kentucky Wesleyan College. One of 2 players from Kentucky Wesleyan. The other is pitcher Heath Brownlee. Only played in 12 games at Kentucky Wesleyan. As the 3-1 fastball is chopped towards short. Good hop for Evans. He snags it. Throw to first is in time for the out, and Riley Glenn gets out of a jam. 1 run comes home again for Wellsville, but they strand the bases loaded. We're on to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Flames trail the Nitros 3-0. Welcome back to OCC Stadium for the bottom of the 3rd inning between the Nitros and the Flames. It's 3-0 Wellsville. They have scored a run in each of the first 3 innings of this one. Mike Stefan to lead things off for the Flames here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Onondaga has been retired 3 up, 3 down in each of the first 2 innings. Daniel Sabbath yet to give up a base runner as the first pitch to Stefan finds the outside corner. It is strike 1. The count is 0-1. So the Flames in the top half of the inning avoided some major damage. The Nitros did score a run, but they stranded the bases loaded. A 1 off speed just misses outside for ball 1. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. And you talk about getting in a rhythm on the bump. Well, Daniel Sabbath is in quite a rhythm to begin this one tonight. As here's the 1-1 from the righty to Stefan. Another off speed that misses the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And his approach is kind of like Gunnar Groen. It's like you pound the strike zone, my infield's going to make the plays for me.
His approach is the same, but the difference really is that Sabbath works out of the windup.
Right.
Rather than Gunner working out of the stretch frequently as that's chopped towards first base. Easy play for Hinckley as he jogs it to the bag for the first out of the third inning. 7 up, 7 down to begin the ninth for Daniel Sabbath on the mound. Here's the catcher, Trace Peterson. Came in as a defensive replacement in the ninth inning last night behind home plate for Jake Zurot. Did get an at-bat in the top of the 10th inning. Reached on a walk against Hornell. That was after the Flames. It was actually during that at-bat the Flames scored their ninth and final run. As the first pitch fastball finds its own for strike one, the count is 0-1. Peterson, of course, out of Lake Erie College, batting. Well, he's 11 of 45 at the plate so far this year. He scored 6 runs as he pops it up right side. Hinckley is calling for it. Helping him out is Perez, but Hinckley makes the catch easily in fair territory, and that is the second out of the third inning. 2 away, here is Jake Evans, the shortstop for the Flames. Getting his first start since last Friday night against the Cortland Crush. Had a good night at the plate. In 2 at-bats, he was really seeing the ball well. His first at-bat laced a double into the right center field gap, and his second hit it on the nose once again. Not quite to the same spot. Just hit it right towards the center fielder as the first pitch finds his own for strike one. The count is 0-1. So you know he's seeing the ball well, especially watching him in batting practice today. He was hitting a lot of gappers as the breaking pitch finds the outside corner. Strike two. The count is no balls and 2 strikes. And he was also working on his defensive fundamentals with Mike Cordero at the shortstop position. As here comes the 0-2 to Evans. Fouls it away to the right side. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes. And that's something, when you're playing 40 games in the span of 2 months, that's something you try and work in during batting practice or a couple off days. Working on those fundamentals, sharpening your game, and Jake Evans got a chance to sharpen his game with Mike Cordero during batting practice today. As here's the 0-2, grounded foul to the right side, and it's snagged by the first base coach, David Dennis. Yes, Morgan Chapman, he brought his silky mitts to the ballpark tonight.
Good work, Eric. I was going to bring that in whenever you were ready. Jake Evans looks like he got a haircut as well.
Yes, he did.
Flow. I'd identify him as Diesel with that haircut. But
he has quite the flow. As here comes the 0-2. Fouled back to the screen. Still no balls and 2 strikes. He's showing some fight in this at-bat. It's a combination now of the mohawk and the mullet. He's got the hair shaved on the sides, but he also has that mullet-like hair on the back of his head. So it's a mohawk mullet. We'll just call it that, I guess.
A hawk mullet.
Yeah, there you go.
Sure.
Another 0-2. Slow bouncer right back to the mound for Sabbath. He turns around, throws it to the bag in time for the out, and that will retire the side. The Flames have gone down in order in each of the first 3 innings. They trail the Nitros 3-0 after 3 innings of play. Welcome back for the top of the 4th inning between Wellsville and Onondaga. It's 3-0 Nitros. 9-1-2 in the Nitro order to begin the top half of the 4th inning. Preston Stringer is the designated hitter. He leads things off against Riley Glenn. Glenn on for his 4th inning of work in tonight's start. Peterson sets up outside for the first pitch. Here it is, and it's popped up by Strainer, but it gets out of play behind home plate. Strike one, the count is 0-1, as Glenn is up to 73 pitches now. Nobody getting warmed up in the Flames' pen at the moment. Glenn's pitch count still pretty high, at least for this stage of the game, but not terribly high. He can definitely go a little longer, as the 0-1 breaking ball is inside for ball one.
You have to admire the coaching staff believing in him to come out here for the fourth inning and try to get himself out of this 3-run lead he's surrendered so far.
Well, it's something you have to do as a pitching coach at any level, you know? Well, as a coach in general.
Right.
As Strainer does go, he didn't mean to, but he did go on a breaking ball low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's something as a coach in any sport you have to do. You got to trust your players, and in return, the players, you know, that builds their confidence.
Yeah.
When they know the coaches trust them, they know they get some playing time out of it too.
Well, I would definitely compare it to having the green light in basketball when you can shoot it from anywhere. Because, I mean, that's really what you have those. There's just a gap between when you're going to get pulled for making a silly mistake or you're just going to stay in the game and work your way out of it.
2 balls, 2 strikes after the breaking ball was low and away and in the dirt to Strainer. Here comes a 2-2 from Glenn. Another breaking ball low and away. Try to get him to chase again. Count runs full now to 3 balls and 2 strikes, and Glenn can't miss this time. Had a couple pitches to work with. Wasn't able to get Strainer to chase the last 2 times, and now it's a full count. Here's the payoff. And the breaking ball just misses outside for ball 4. On with the leadoff walk is Preston Strainer, and in each of the first 4 innings of this ball game, the Nitros have gotten the leadoff man on base.
Third walk surrendered by Riley Glenn in this ball game as well, Eric.
Chandler Polias at the top of the order. The center fielder leads things, is up at the plate now with a runner on first and nobody out. A.J. DiFilippo playing on the turf grass. It's not real grass, but it's turf grass. Polias squares up the bunt, pulls it back as the pitch was low. Ball 1, the count 1-0, as Glenn is now missed with 4 consecutive pitches. And this next one will be number 80 for him in his outing tonight. Evans and Hart in double play depth, playing a little in and a little closer to the second base bag. DeFilippo charges in, and the 1-0 pitch misses the outside corner on a fastball. 2 balls, no strikes to Polias. Polias out of Clarion University. We mentioned he's a transfer from Marietta College. His throw over to first is not in time. Graduate of Canaan McMillian High School. Native of Venetia, Pennsylvania. As the fastball's inside for ball 3, the count 3 balls and no strikes. And in this, after Polias squared up the bunt in his on the first pitch of the at-bat, he's decided to pull it back because he's waiting for Glenn to find the zone. As here's the 3-0. Pitch is low, ball 4. 4-pitch walk to Polias. And 2 walks result in 2 runners on with nobody out to begin the 4th for Wellsville.
Looks like Jimmy Flahive is warming up once again, Eric, so we'll see if Riley Glenn can battle out of this, but either way, could be a pitching change here shortly.
Well, he's missed with he's allowed 4 walks in the last 2 innings, including 2 to the last 2 batters. His pitch count is getting pretty high at 82 now. As here's Cyrus Grimes, the left fielder. Somebody you definitely don't want to mess with or miss with a pitch over the plate. As time is called at the request of Cyrus Grimes.
Well, for sure, Eric. He's 6 home runs on the season. You said that ties the lead leaguer, or he is the lead leaguer?
Tied for first in home runs on the season with 6 of them. Tied with Chris Turco of the Cheryl Silversmiths.
Oof.
As the pitch is outside, ticks off the glove of Peterson to the backstop. This one will be a pass ball. As both runners advance, second and third now with nobody out.
I believe that's the 3rd time we've seen that hurt the Flames so far in this ball game. Not all the same reason, but
Pitch got away from Glenn, but it was in the mid of Peterson for just a second. That's why it's a pass ball, not a wild pitch. 1-0 the count to Cyrus Grimes now. As the whole infield can play in now with no runner on first base. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball finds the outside corner. Strike one, the count evens up at a ball and a strike, and Riley Glenn, after a strain of 8 consecutive pitches that missed the zone, he has finally found the strike zone once again. Grimes hasn't put a ball in play yet, meanwhile. In fair territory, that is. Here's the 1-1. Breaky pitch is low for ball 2. The count 2 balls and 1 strike. Hit by pitch in the first inning. Led off the third inning with a walk. He came around to score on the RBI single by Andres Perez. 2-1, the count to Grimes. Here it is. And the fastball is lined foul down the right side. And the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes here. Grimes steps back into the left-handed batter's box against Glenn with the infield still playing in. Here comes the 2-ball, 2-strike pitch from Glenn, and the fastball is well outside. Trying to get Grimes to chase a little bit. It's ball 3. The count runs full now to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Grimes is a player that reminds me a little bit of a player I saw with the Herndon Braves last year. A player, in the league, that played in the same league as the Herndon Braves, played for the Bethesda Big Train. As here comes the payoff to Grimes. And the breaking ball gets him looking on the upper third of the zone. Glenn with his 4th strikeout of the night, and that's a big out, number 1.
Sure is. Cyrus Grimes was in between swinging and not swinging, and either way it found the strike zone. And let's see if Riley Glenn can get out of another jam. Last time he got out of bases loaded, this time with 2 runners in scoring position.
And here comes John Benevolent, the shortstop, and I'll get back to Cyrus Grimes in just a moment. As here comes the first one to Benevolent. A breaking ball stays high for ball 1, the count 1-0. He reminds me of a batter who was leading the triple count categories throughout most of the year with the Bethesda Big Train in the Carpkin League last year. His name's James Outman out of Sacramento State and played with the Big Train last year. Actually a draft pick of the Los Angeles Dodgers this month, round 7. Overall pick number 224. 1-0 is a breaking ball outside for ball 2. The count 2 balls and no strikes as that pitch was number 90 from Riley Glenn.
I wonder what the 224th pick is valued at.
I wonder too. But it's the 7th round of I don't even know how many rounds there are in the MLB draft, but I know there are a lot, and that's very impressive, to say the least. 2-0. That's a pitch that's way high. Peterson really had to reach up there to keep the ball from going to the backstop. It's ball 3, the count 3 balls and no strikes. Actually, once he made the catch, Peterson stumbled a little bit, trying to stay on his feet, moving to the left side. When he got back to the catcher's box, he had to adjust a shin guard, too. Just a strap, rather, on the shin guard. Glenn has the sign. He's ready to deal the 3-0. Here it is to Benevolent. And the pitch ticks off Peterson's glove to the backstop. It is a strike. The run scores on to third is Polias, and the Nitros take a 4-0 lead. That will be a pass ball once again, ticking off the glove of Peterson.
And I don't know what's going on out there, Eric. I mean, we've seen this bother Trace Peterson early in the season. There's some that got away from him when they played the Syracuse Spartans the first time, which ended up hurting them. They lost that game, unfortunately. But it's kind of the same thing here today. Just doesn't look like he has a grip on some of the balls, and some are just getting past him.
3-1. Fastball it is called for a strike. The home plate umpire waited a little longer than he usually does to make the strike call. Count runs full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. And also there's a little bit of that shadow effect. Riley Glenn a little bit in the sun. Trace Peterson in the shade right now as the breaking ball is low and away and in the dirt for ball 4. Benevolent is on with the 3rd walk of the inning served by Riley Glenn.
5th of the ball game.
All 5 have taken place in the last 2 innings. As here comes Grayson Williams, the right fielder. Runners at the corners down 1 away. The Nitros ahead 4-0 as they have found their rhythm right out of the gate here tonight against the Onondaga Flames as the pitch is low and away. Peterson keeps it from going to the backstop. It's 1 ball and no strikes.
And how much longer do you see Riley Glenn going here, Eric, because of the situation he's in?
Well, looking at his pitch count, I don't think he gets out of the inning. This might be his last batter because he's at 95 pitches right now. I don't see him getting past 100 unless he gets past 100 in this at bat. Breaking ball swung on miss for strike 1. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. Now the Nitros, we mentioned in the pregame, they came into, they're still the league leaders with an 11-5 record, but they've lost 2 games in a row. As the 1-1 is chopped foul to the left side, it's strike 2. The count 1 ball and 2 strikes to Williams. But you never know with Riley Glenn on the bump, even with his pitch count, if he gets a quick strikeout here, maybe he stays in the game for the next batter and is able to get out of the 4th inning. We'll see. Throw over to first. A little lob from Glenn is not in time. But you know the Nitros can get going at any point. They've gotten going tonight. Here comes the 1-2 from Glenn, and it's a swing and a miss by Williams at the fastball. Glenn overpowers him, and that is strike 3 for out number 2. And here comes Andres Perez, the second baseman, and Glenn will stay in the ball game for this batter.
Well, he's just proven that he still has value out there on the mound.
Still has a little bit left in the arm, trying to help his team. As the first one to Perez just misses the outside corner. It's ball 1, the count 1-0. Last time up, Perez drove in Wellsville's 3rd run of the game with an RBI single. Drove in Cyrus Grimes with that hit. It was a bloop shot down the left field line. As here's the 1-0. Breaking pitch stays high for ball 2. The count 2 balls and no strikes.
And it's been this inconsistency from Riley Glenn that's got him into this pitch count being so high and surrendering the 4 runs. Just unable to consistently hit the strike zone.
Here comes the 2-0, and the pitch is up and away. For ball 3, the count 3 balls and no strikes on the fastball. And meanwhile, Andres Perez at the plate. In 2 at-bats, he has not gotten the best wood on the baseball. Little flare into the mid of Jake Evans, his first time up. As that pitch finds the lower third of the zone for strike 1, the count 3 balls and 1 strike. Trace Peterson now talking to the home plate umpire about something.
Looks like he was talking to Perez. I think they are exchanging some words.
And now the home plate umpire is talking to Perez.
Peterson does not like whatever Perez said to him as he still has his mask off talking to him some more.
And also for the Flames side, that shows a little frustration because the Nitros are ahead by 4 early in the game. 3-1. Pitch is high for ball 4. Perez is on. Perhaps words exchanged again. The home plate umpire getting between them, and Perez moves on to first base.
With still no pitching change out for Riley Glenn. Now it's 6 walks surrendered to the ball game, and this Nitros team is not letting up on the chippiness and the chatter from the dugout.
Here comes J.D. Isbell, the third baseman, to the plate. As the Nitros are more than halfway now through their 3rd turn in the order, the Flames haven't even taken their 2nd yet. First one to Isbell is popped up right side and foul. That gets out of play for strike 1. The count is 0-1. Isbell is 1 for 1 at the plate tonight with the quote-unquote triple in the 2nd inning. It's technically a triple. A walk in the 3rd inning to reach base.
We'll see how the Wellsville announcer has scored it.
0-1. Breaking ball on the outside corner. Strike 2. The count, no balls and 2 strikes. He scored it with us because he was actually asking us.
That's right. He came in here.
What the call was, just to make sure.
Good memory, Eric.
0-2, meanwhile, is the count to Isbell as Glenn is potentially a strike away from getting out of the jam with only 1 on the board. Here comes the 0-2. Breaking ball gets him on the outside corner. Glenn gets out of the jam with only 1 on the board for Wellsville. However, the Nitros just keep chipping and extending the lead. It is 4-0 Wellsville after 3.5. Set to begin the bottom of the fourth inning from OCC Stadium. Nitros ahead of the Flames 4-0. Eric Moon, Morgan Chapman with you tonight. Brandon Ross is on assignment as Jack Cherno is set to lead things off for the Flames here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Cherno grounded out to second his first time up. Flames trying to get Daniel Sabbath out of his rhythm on the mound. It's proved to be a tough task to this point. As Sabbath gets the sign, gets ready to deal. Here's the first one to Cherno, and the fastball's well outside. Ball one. The count is 1 ball and no strikes to begin the at-bat.
I hope that Steady Eddie remark didn't jinx him for the ball game.
I certainly hope not. 1-0 the count to Cherno. Here it is. And he swings and misses that fastball for strike one. The count evens up at a ball and a strike. And really the most important thing he's done at the plate, it's not just getting the hits, but also the quality at bats.
Right.
That's been something that has been preached with this Flames team throughout the whole year, getting quality at bats, and Cherno seems to get the most of them. As the fastball finds the inside corner for strike two, the count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Eric, you talk about quality at bats. This guy has 13 walks on the season, so he really can make the most of it. He's patient, but he's the leadoff guy, so he knows when to be aggressive and when to be patient, and he does a nice job of mixing it up.
Drawing walks shows the quality of your bats as the 1-2 swung on missed a breaky ball in the dirt. It's strike three, and that is the first out of the fourth inning. Third strikeout of the night for Daniel Sabbath. And he continues to keep the Flames off the base paths, continues to keep them off the scoreboard, and hasn't even allowed a hit to this point.
No, he's not.
Here's Adam Gordon. He struck out looking his first time up. 10 up, 10 down for Daniel Sabbath early on in this contest, as Gordon continues to adjust his batting gloves before he steps in the box. Gordon was in left field last night as well against the Hornell Dodgers. First one hit from Sabbath is an off-speed pitch low and away. Ball one, the count is 1-0. Only the 5th time he's missed the zone in this game of those. And he has 36 total pitches. 5 balls, 31 strikes. He is pounding the zone. 1-0. That misses outside for ball 2. The count 2 balls and no strikes.
And you talk about quality at bats. How about quality pitching out on the mound from Sabbath? I mean, this has just been an absolute monster display on the mound.
And a quality at bat as a pitcher is getting a quick out. As here's the 2-0, well up and away, forcing Drew Rogers out of the Dusty Rogers out of the crouch. 3 balls and no strikes to Adam Gordon. He went over 4. Well, rather over. Yes, he did go over 4 in last night's ball game, but he reached twice. As here's the 3-0. He gets the green line, chops it to the right side. Good play on a hop by Perez. He throws to first. That's in time for the out. 2 away in the 4th. And here is Mike Netzel, the right fielder. As we mentioned earlier, the Flames order among the first 5 batters is the exact same, both player and positioning, as last night against the Dodgers. Netzel batted third in the order in right field 1 night ago. First one's from Sabbath to Netzel is a fastball that just misses the outside corner. Ball 1, the count 1-0, and from up here, you may not be able to see it on the camera, but I have noticed some two-seam movement on that fastball from Sabbath. As here's a 1-0. Just misses the outside corner. 2 balls and no strikes. And that's the movement when coming out of the hand as a right-handed batter, it goes, as a right-handed pitcher, it goes towards the right-handed batter just ever so slightly. 2-0. Finds the inside corner. It's strike 1, the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. And that can be tough if you're a hitter facing a pitcher with a two-seam fastball rather than a 4-seam, because that movement can really throw things off as the pitch finds the outside corner, 2 balls and 2 strikes. It can really throw it off because that slight movement can, if you're expecting a 4-seam, you can hit a ground ball rather than a line drive, for example. Just that slight movement can make a big difference as the 2-2 fastball is well low and away. Ball 3, the count runs full now to 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Netzel with a quality at bat here. First full count by a Flames hitter tonight. and we'll see how Netzel is able to work with it. Here comes the payoff from Sabbath, and Netzel fouls one off the catcher, Rogers, and he's hurting a little bit. He's on his knees. We can't tell from up here where it hit him, but it looked like it got him in a pretty bad spot, but he's up and okay now. And the count stays full, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
It looks like Mike Netzel's just saying he's sorry for that hit, as obviously any pain towards the groin area is just uncomfortable, but we'll see if he can keep going. He looks like he's fine. He bounced up real quickly. Back down the catcher's position. He must be fine.
Even on a low foul tip like that can make us cringe from up here.
Oh, yeah.
Here comes another payoff, and Netzel hits it in the air out to center field. It drops in for a base hit. Netzel's on. He is the first base runner of the night for the Flames, and as FP Santangelo says, there goes the no-hitter.
Nice job by Mike Netzel, and now you get into a situation where you have A.J. DiFilippo and Brian Hart. Those guys could definitely bring him around to score, so nice job by Mike Netzel to get the first hit of the game for the Onondaga Flames.
And if you're the Flames, you need to chip away at that Nitro lead, given that it's a 4-run advantage and not just a 1-run advantage for Wellsville. Here is AJ. He's 0 for 1 on the night. As we mentioned before, 6 RBI night last night. He was the NYCBO player of the night. First one in this plate appearance is low and in the dirt for ball 1. The count is 1 ball and no strikes to DiFilippo.
And ever since Adam Gordon came up to the plate, Eric, it looks like Sabbath has just lost a little bit of his touch, throwing 3 straight balls against some of these guys.
1-0, that counts to DiFilippo with a runner on first and 2 away. Here it is, and that pitch is low. Fastball that probably did get the inside corner, but it was below the zone. 2 balls and no strikes to DiFilippo. Against the last 3 batters, Sabbath has thrown 11 pitches, only 3 for strikes. Throw over to first is not in time. And this was after Sabbath threw a grand total of 37 pitches to the first, 36 pitches rather to the first 10 batters he faced, and only 4 missed the zone. 2-0. DiFilippo grounds it right to Hinckley at first base. He tags the first base bag for the final out of the 4th. But the Flames do get their first hit of the game and get a base runner on. However, Onondaga trails Wellsville 4-0 after 4 innings of play here on Team Line.
Welcome back to the Onondaga Flames Team Line live stream. I'm Morgan Chapman alongside Eric Moon. And Eric, it looks like a change in the field for the Flames.
One change for the Flames, replacing Adam Gordon in left field is Colin Matthews now.
Colin Matthews in left usually plays right field, but he's going to come in to play left for Adam Gordon. Leading off the top of the 5th inning is Dusty Rogers, the catcher. First pitch from Riley Glenn popped straight up. Riley Glenn points up, looks like Brian Hart has a good read on it, and there it is. First out, 1 pitch, 1 out. Have to like that work from Riley Glenn.
Well, you love that as a pitcher in general, but especially with Glenn's high pitch count, entering the inning at 106, he's now at 107. And 1 pitch, 1 out, you just love it as a pitcher.
Sure do. It looks like Jimmy Flahive is still warming up in the bullpen for the Onondaga Flames, and Flahive has just been Mr. Consistent for the Flames so far this season. Hopefully I didn't jinx him there. Bringing up number 21, Ryan Hinckley, who is 1 for 2 on the evening. He has the RBI single back in the 2nd inning. Riley Glenn, first pitch for Hinckley, fouled off looks to be off Trace Peterson's catcher mask as he's going to take a second to, and the home plate umpire is going to walk out to Riley Glenn just to give him the ball to give Trace a second to catch his breath there. It's always unpleasant taking one off the face, even with the mask on.
Well, it's something we saw also with Dusty Rogers behind home plate for Willsville in the last half inning. Yes, it's just a foul tip, but that's probably an 85-mile-per-hour pitch coming right at your noggin.
Right.
That's why you see a lot of injuries among catchers. That's why concussions are a bit of a problem for catchers, because taking one right off the noggin, it hurts.
0-1. Outside for a ball. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. But Riley Glenn is going right back to business as he gets the ball back from Peterson, looks in for the sign, and he wants to go as he knows his pitch count is high and his night is shortly over here. This one almost tagging Hinckley as he gets out of the way just in time. Count goes to 2 balls and a strike. Riley Glenn is kind of having the same game he had against the Cortland Crush. We saw him the first time this season where he was just inconsistent, gave up a couple of runs, and that's all she wrote, except this time he has some more strikeouts instead. This pitch in there for a strike. Count evens up at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Ryan Hinckley, the first baseman, who's made quite a few plays in the field. A couple of ground balls down the right field line, been able to take them himself. Here's the 2-2. It's cut out and missed for a strikeout. Riley Glenn wants to get out these 3 batters to finish off his night if his night's going to be over, as it's his 7th strikeout registered on the evening. Looks like he's starting to find his rhythm just a little bit too late.
Well, and this is a result of him going out on the mound and the coaching staff trusting him to do well on the mound here in the 5th inning.
Preston Stringer's going to watch the first ball go by for a strike. For a ball, excuse me. So ball 1 for Preston Stringer. Riley Glenn, high and outside for ball 2. Count goes to 2-0 on Stringer. Stringer is 0 for 1 on the evening. He reached on a walk, came around to score on a pass ball from Peterson. This one, low again. So 3 straight balls, right as I mentioned, Riley Glenn starting to heat up on the mound. Goes back to 3 straight balls, so commentator's jinx, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, the broadcaster jinx is definitely in full effect tonight, as we've seen already. But also, Riley Glenn, if he gets in any trouble this inning, he's likely to get pulled from this game.
3-0 in there for strike 1. And that's the thing, Eric. We've seen Riley Glenn throw 3 straight balls numerous times throughout this ball game, then come back with a strike, but it's just too little too late. You're working with a very slim margin for error. Here's the 3-1. Cut out and missed from Stringer. Now has worked himself back into a full count, Riley Glenn has, as he takes a second to take a deep breath here as he knows how important this pitch is. 3 balls, 2 strikes with 2 gone here in the top of the 5th inning.
And this is his last batter, I think, regardless of whether he gets him out or not.
3-2, cut down the left field line. DiFilippo's going to get over there, but it's a foul ball either way. As he's up to how many pitches, Eric?
118.
118, and about 125 is really dangerous territory for players that can receive serious injuries on the mound. Between 125 and 135, I would say, is got to be red flag territory. 3 balls, 2 strikes as Riley Glenn gets the sign. Here's the payoff. Cut out and missed for a strikeout. So if Riley Glenn's going to go out, he's going to go out on a hot note. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the 5th inning, collecting his 8th strikeout on the evening. No hits, no runs, no errors, and no runners left on base. We're going to take a quick break here on Team Line. We'll have the bottom of the 5th when we come back. Welcome back to the Onondaga Flames Team Line live stream here at Onondaga Community College. We're here in the bottom of the fifth inning as the Wellsville Nitros lead the Onondaga Flames 4-0. I'm Morgan Chapman alongside Eric Moon to bring you the bottom of the fifth inning. And Eric, I'm going to say something that... So... And Eric, it's always the same thing that you always say, is that the Flames just need to chip back into this one run at a time.
Get one run at a time. You know, they were able to, burst the hit bubble against Daniel Sabbath. They got their first hit on the board, and now they need to get a run on the board.
So Brian Hart, first pitch from Sabbath way outside for ball one. It looks like a change in the field for the Nitros as well. Eric, who do we got out there at second base?
Ian Moran at second base in place of Andres Perez, just a straight substitution.
Second pitch, missing for ball two on Brian Hart. Brian Hart's only had one plate appearance so far. It was back in the second inning as he had that bunt attempt go back to Sabbath, and it was an easy out, trying to get it past him, but unfortunately it rolled right back to Sabbath. The 2-0. Cut on popped up. Looks like Hinckley's not going to even make an effort as it comes into the stadium. And the count goes to 2-1 strike on Brian Hart. And Brian Hart has come on as of late for sure. Definitely has found his rhythm at the plate, but could definitely use him here. The Flames have only had one base runner in this ball game, thanks to Mike Netzel. The 2-1 from Sabbath as he winds up. Here's the delivery. In there for strike two. Count goes to 2 strikes on Brian Hart, the second baseman out of Bryant University. Brian Hart batting a .277 coming into this ball game. He's 13 for 48 now after that last at-bat. Brian Hart second on the team in RBIs, has 13 of them to be exact. The 2-2 from Sabbath, the wind-up. Here it is, cut on down the left field line. That one's going to bounce into the Flames dugout, looks like. And we'll do the 2-2 once again from Sabbath, but Sabbath is one of those pitchers that just pounds the strike zone. He doesn't get a whole lot of strikeouts, but the pitches that he throws, they're not hittable for a deep shot or something that's going to get down for trouble for the Nitros. 2-2. Cut on. This one could be trouble. And the right fielder makes the play, so I shall eat my words as Williams comes in. Grayson Williams makes the running catch, and there are two down here. Or the one down, in the bottom of the fifth inning.
Well, Hart just got a little too much of it. He was jammed on it, but he still got too much of it for that to be a base hit that drops in front of the right fielder Williams. But, it's been that kind of night on offense for the Flames. The Nitros are getting the bounces offensively. The Flames are not.
Casey Kretsch coming into the batter's box here to battle against Daniel Sabbath, who's had a terrific outing for the Nitros so far. Casey had the pop out to Perez last time, the second baseman. First pitch in there for a strike, and, there he goes. Eric, he's right back to pounding the strike zone once again. First pitch already ahead of Casey Kretsch. The 0-1. Cut on. Could be fouled off his foot, but it looks like it just missed him. Count goes to 0-2 on Casey Kretsch, and this is the situation we've seen a lot of these Flames batters be in, where they either cut at the first two pitches or cut at one of the two and don't swing at the first pitch, and quickly they find themselves down 0-2 here, and the next pitch they're going to have to fight off to stay alive. Sabbath gets the sign from Rogers, and here it is. Doubt about going. Did he go? He didn't, says the umpire. Count goes to 1-2 strikes here on Casey Kretsch, just trying to get a quality at-bat. Haven't had a whole lot of them so far in the ball game. In fact, probably Casey Kretsch Mike Netzel has really only had the quality at-bat so far as he worked into the full count. The 1-2 popped up back towards us. We'll do the 1-2 once again. How many pitches is Sabbath at, Eric?
He's at 59. And getting back to the quality at-bats, you don't always have to get 3 balls and 2 strikes. You don't even have to take a ball for a quality at-bat.
Right.
You just have to make the pitcher pitch. For example, the last at-bat, Brian Hart fouled off a couple pitches against Daniel Sabbath. That was a quality at-bat.
The 1-2. Thought about going either way. Gone. So there's a strikeout victim. His fourth on the evening for Sabbath. Bringing up Mike Stefan. And I tell you, that Nitros dugout is chirping away at these Flames batters. That either has to be frustrating or getting in their heads just a little bit.
Well, and getting to the check swing by Kretsch, I don't think that was a swing, and that's a call that the home plate umpire has been consistent about all night with the Nitro hitters and the Flames hitters with that check swing on a strike in the dirt.
Mike Stefan, first pitch from Sabbath, outside for ball one. Mike Stefan last time lined one down the right field line, picked up by Hinckley, and he took it himself.
And what I mean by the check swing is that, let's take the video stream for example. The bat would be parallel across home plate in our video stream.
Second pitch outside for ball two.
That would be a swing if the bat's at least parallel. If the barrel goes up to the right and the handle back down to the left, that's a swing.
Right.
If it's parallel. But what I've seen tonight is with both hitters have been going about 60% of the way to the plate, to that parallel position, and they've been getting called for strikes.
Well, Sabbath misses again for ball three, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's kind of like football. You have to break the plane with the bat.
Mm-hmm.
So, by the way, the home plate umpire said that Casey Crutch did that. 3-0. And as Rogers holds it, Mike Stefan removes his elbow cover and gets a quality at-bat there. 4 straight balls, collecting his first walk surrendered by Sabbath on the ball game. So with Mike Stefan on, it's going to lead on, or next up to bat for the Flames will be Trace Peterson. Peterson had the pop out to Hinckley earlier in the ball game as sunset here on Onondaga Hill at Onondaga Community College. A beautiful sunset here on a beautiful Wednesday evening here.
It's beautiful, and it looks even better on our camera shot.
Shout out to Eric Moon for his phone there. First pitch in there for strike one for Trace Peterson. Sabbath trying to go back to work as he's kind of another guy who has that short-term memory as quickly tries to get back to work on the mound. 0-1. Checking Mike Stefan over there, not in time, just trying to keep him honest as Mike Stefan isn't the biggest threat to steal on the team.
And quickly getting back to that check swing versus, a nose, but instead of swinging, you talk about breaking the plane of the plate
as a check
throw it over to first. But, that could be interpreted a little differently. Usually the bat has to be parallel.
Right.
In a way, parallel, a parallel across home plate. But the home plate umpire is saying even if the bat ticks home plate tonight, that is a swing.
The 0-1, Trace Peterson thought about going. There's another example of those check swings. He didn't go on that attempt. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. But Mike Stefan only has 1 stolen base on the season. He's 1 for 1 on stolen bases. As Mike gets about a step and a half lead, now just a little bit further. Sabbath delivers to Peterson in there for a strike. Really nice pitch there from Sabbath. Count goes to a ball and 2 strikes.
And that's the beauty of the two-seamer from Sabbath because that ball initially looks just off the corner, but it comes back, catches a corner, and that's strike 2.
Strike 2 here on Peterson. Needs to do something to keep this inning going. Here it is. Peterson cuts on it. This should be an easy out at first base, except it bounces in the dirt, and he gets him either way. So another inning where the Flames are unable to score, and the Nitros dugout is just flaming hot right now. We're going to step aside for a quick break here on Team Line. Well, welcome back to the Onondaga Flames Team Line live stream. As the graphic is incorrect, we're actually in the top of the 6th inning now. I'm Morgan Chapman. I'll be doing the solo inning here, so hopefully you don't mind listening to me. But Jimmy Flahive comes on the mound for the Onondaga Flames, a pitcher out of American International College. I'm a Lemoyne guy, so I definitely have heard that name a couple of times. The Yellow Jackets of American International has a .69 ERA, and he's coming into the ball. He's coming into this game as one of the most consistent pitchers on the team. Some words were exchanged between the home plate umpire and head coach Mike Cordero. First pitch, high and outside. This is Polias. Chandler Polias is 1 for 2 on the night. Started things off with a leadoff triple. Came around to score one of the 4 runs for the Nitros. Second pitch from Flahive, missing outside for ball 2. Count goes to 2-0. Flahive, like I mentioned, out of American International College, the .69 ERA. He has 13 innings pitched, surrendered 5 hits, but has 12 strikeouts on the season. The 2-0. Thought about going either way. It's a strike. Count goes to 2-1 on Flahive. So with a mixture of Riley Glenn, now you have the lefty sidearmer who's just, again, he's one of the most consistent pitchers on this team. Never seems to have an off night. 2-1 from Flahive. In there for strike 2, and back-to-back beautiful pitches from Jimmy Flahive. Gets him right back into this at-bat with Polias. Flames trailing 4-0 here in the top of the 6th. 2-2. Cut on right down to Mike Stefan. Stefan is able to scoop it off the turf for out number 1 as he's going to take it himself. One-man band over at first base. Bringing up Cyrus Grimes, the left fielder here for the Nitros. Grimes is 0 for 1 on the night as he was hit by a pitch in the first inning, reached on a walk in the third, and was a strikeout victim to Riley Glenn. Struck out looking his last time up. But the Flames have really battled back into this season. They started very inconsistent, then with the additions of A.J. DiFilippo and others. First pitch for Grimes in there for strike 1, but with the addition of A.J. DiFilippo and Jack Cherno into the lineup, the Flames have really been able to find their consistency, playing very well as of late, coming off a extra inning game last night victory. This one bounces right off the glove of Trace Peterson. He's not even going to try for it as one of the Nitros are going to come grab it. Peterson has been a little bit off tonight. A couple of balls have got past him. Scored a couple of Nitro runs on it, but either way, he's still in the game at the catcher's position. The 1-1 from Flahive. Cut on right back towards A.J. DiFilippo, unable to get it in his glove. I'm going to rule that as an error. I'm not sure if Eric Moon would agree with me, but it hit him in the glove, so I'm actually going to say that's going to be an E5 scored on A.J. DiFilippo. And it's going to get a base runner here for the Nitros, and it brings up John Benevolent, the shortstop, who is 0 for 2 on the night. Reached on a walk last time. He was one of the 3 runners left on base last time the Nitros had bases loaded. Flahive checks back at first. Now he's got Grimes in a pickle. Here it is. Stefan to Evans, and there it is. So there's the second out of the inning. Beautiful play from Flahive as he has a nice pickoff move. Might have had a couple words from Grimes, too, as he jogs back to the dugout. Nitros have been chirping the Flames all night, and Flahive makes a beautiful play there. So Belvant is coming up with he's 0 for 2 on the night. Robert Anders comes out to pick up a batting glove, and play will resume. Benevolent 0 for 2 to shortstop. Batting a .303 on the season. First pitch outside for ball 1 coming into this ball game. He has 5 home runs, so he is a power threat. Flahive has to be careful to leave anything up in the zone. Second pitch missing for ball 2. Count goes to 2-0. As Flahive gets the sign. Cut on and missed for a strike, and Flahive bounces right back into this one. So 2-1 now here for Flahive. Here's the 2-1. Just outside, missing. Count goes to 3-1 now. John Benevolent trying to get his first hit of the night. As I said earlier, he's 0 for 2 on the evening. 3-1. Popped up. Stefan's going to give it chase, but it's going to go out of play into foul territory. Count goes to full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Eric and I are always talking about quality at-bats. Here's an example of that here from one of the Nitros batters. Benevolent looks in. Here's the full count payoff. Cut on. This could be gone as giving chase is Colin Matthews, and it's gone. A home run for Benevolent, and the Nitros dugout is fired up. A full count home run surrendered by Jimmy Flahive. First surrendered of the season from Flahive, and his 6th home run on the season comes off the bat from John Benevolent. That was a shot out to left field there. Colin Matthews gave it chase, but now if the Nitros dugout was chirping before, they're definitely going to be chirping now as their lead extends to 5-0 here in the top of the 6th inning. First pitch missing outside for ball 1. This is Grayson Williams who's made the nice play over in right field earlier in this ball game. The 1-0. Flahive making Williams back up just a bit. Count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Williams has the RBI ground out to lead things off, but is 0 for 2 since then. That pitch missing outside for ball 3. Count goes to 3-0. Now, for Jimmy Flahive, who just surrendered the home run, you have to think it's a head game at this point. Have to be able to battle through that situation. A 3-0 in there, but it's going to miss high, and now he's going to surrender a walk as well. So, home run, then a walk surrendered for Jimmy Flahive as he started this inning very strong and now struggling just a little bit. So Ian Moran is coming to the ball game for Andres Perez, who is playing second base. Now he's coming. Eric and I mentioned that in the last inning. Moran out of Hilbert College from Teresa, New York. This first pitch outside for ball 1. Batting a 167. He's just 2 for 12 on the season. 2 runs scored, 1 RBI, 3 walks. He's drawn in 4 strikeouts. Second pitch in there for a strike. Nice bounce back pitch from Jimmy Flahive. Grayson Williams has 1 stolen base on the season, so with 2 down, I don't think he's going to try to steal here, but we saw Flahive catch the 1 runner in the pickle before. Let's see if he tries to use that nice pickoff move again. As he stares down Williams. Here's the 1-1. Just outside. Count goes to 2 balls and a strike. And you have to wonder, the team came off of that extra inning victory last night. Maybe they're coming down from that high of last night's victory, and it's affecting them here this afternoon as still trail 5-0 here. Flahive with a pickoff attempt. Unsuccessful, though, and Grayson Williams back in time. 2 balls, 1 strike with 2 down here in the top of the 6th inning. Nitros lead 5-0. Flahive staring down Williams. Going back to first base. Not in time. As Moran stands in, readjusts his gloves, and now is ready for the 2-1. Williams takes a 2-step lead off the first base bag. The 2-1. Moran thought about going, but either way, it's a strike. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Flahive, 1 pitch away from getting out of this situation where he's given up a home run, but other than that, has looked strong against all the other batters. The 2-2, Flahive gets the sign from Peterson, checks on Grayson Williams. Here's the 2-2. Thought about going, didn't go. Count goes to full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Flahive has appeared in 7 games for the Flames so far this season. 3-2 back to first base, checking on Grayson Williams again, is Jimmy Flahive, the American International College product. And that AIC team up there, I mean, I tell you, they're a piece of work. They really definitely need all the pitching they can get. As the 3-2 is delivered. Cut on and missed. Flahive gets a strikeout, but the damage is done. Flahive gets his first strikeout victim. However, he surrenders a home run in the top of the 6th inning. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on Team Line. Welcome back to the Onondaga Flames Team Line live stream. I'm Morgan Chapman here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Position change has been made for the Nitros as Aaron Brush comes into the ball game at the catcher's position. Daniel Sabbath will come out for his 6th inning of work. He's looked strong so far in this ball game, allowing just 1 hit. Goes to Mike Netzel. He's only surrendered 1 walk as well. He has 4 strikeouts. Leading off the bottom of the 6th inning for your Onondaga Flames is number 4, Jake Evans. Shortstop this evening. 0 for 1 on the night. Sabbath winds up. Here's the first pitch to Evans. Squares the bunt, pulls it back. Either way, it's a strike on Jake Evans. And that's exactly what Sabbath has done. Pound the zone multiple times, and he's able to just get ahead in these counts, and the batters have to work from behind. And we've seen that the Flames have not been able to do so far in this ball game. The 0-1. In there for strike 2, and look, just like that, Jake Evans is quickly down 0-2 in the count. Sabbath has just been strong. Brush coming in for Rogers. Dusty Rogers had that foul ball come up and tag him. This one fouled off the end of his bat to stay alive from Jake Evans. Might have hit his foot, but Dusty Rogers took a foul ball off the inner leg, and I'm not sure if that's the reason why he's done, but either way, a new catcher behind the plate. Townsend University product Aaron Brush, native of Minnesota, as Sabbath steps off the mound. Brush is going to go out there, have a word with him, maybe get some of the signs down, or just discuss things. The secrets that you always want to know, it's what people are saying out there in a ball game when put a shirt or a hand or a glove in front of their mouth and whisper something to their teammate. Play resumes. 0-2 here on Jake Evans. Here it is. Cut on and fouled off the end of his bat to stay alive. Jack Chernow and Colin Matthews will be the next 2 batters for the Flames coming up here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Sabbath gets the sign from Brush. The 0-2. Here's the windup. There it is. Cut on. Could be easy pickings, although Jake Evans has speed. Beats it out. Beautiful job as J.D. Isbell tried to get there in time, but Jake Evans shows his wheels off a little bit. Gets another base knock. Second hit of the ball game for the Onondaga Flames. Jack Chernow up the bat next. Eric Moon described him as Steady Eddie to lead the game off. 0 for 2 on the night, but we're still waiting for him to get those 2 hits that he usually gets in the ball game. This could be a perfect time for him to do so, as the Flames only have 2 hits in the ball game, and both times those runners were left on base. This pitch just missing the strike zone. Looked close from up here. 1-0 is the count. Jake Evans has a step off the bag, checked over there at first, back in time. And I tell you, if anyone's a threat to steal, it has to be Jake Evans because of the speed this guy has. I mean, we've seen him make some 360 spin moves out in the field, throwing players out at first when he's playing shortstop. He's very athletic. Sabbath gets the sign from Brush, goes back to first to check on Evans. Evans hasn't attempted a stolen base on the season, though, but probably wouldn't be a bad idea to get one here if he can. Jack Chernow still waiting for his second pitch of this at-bat. Here it is. Cut on back towards us, though. Count evens up at the ball and a strike as it tags one of the poles here at Onondaga Community College. A beautiful night here at Onondaga Hill for some baseball here in the NYCBL. 2 of the better teams in the league facing off here. Nitros have had the upper hand thus far, leading 5-0. Jake Evans still on first base, back in time as Sabbath checks him again. One ball, 1 strike here for Jack Chernow, the Columbia product. As he digs in, here it is. Cut on and missed for strike 2 from Chernow. As now he's behind in the count. Jake Evans over there at first still, and again the Flames have yet to even have a runner in scoring position in this ball game. Nitros have really taken care of business from the start. 1-2. Chopped right back to Sabbath. Should be easy pickings as he checks. Doesn't going to get Evans, but he's going to get Chernow at first. There's the first out of the inning. The 1-3 connection. Bringing up number 23, Colin Matthews. Colin Matthews, the Kent State product, comes up as he subbed in, or is checked in the game for Adam Gordon, replacing him in left field. Colin Matthews, very good at the plate this season. Batting at .222, he's 6 for 27 at the plate, but he has collected 10 walks, 5 RBIs. He's only had 5 strikeouts on the season as well. Was forced to gray shirt last season as he had Tommy John surgery, but he's back in action here for the Flames, trying to find his rhythm. First pitch for Matthews, in there, cut back towards the screen for strike 1. Jake Evans gives the Flames the first runner in scoring position, as Sabbath has just been absolutely phenomenal on the mound so far in this ball game for the Nitros. 1 strike here. The 0-1. In there. Missing the zone, though. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. This is the only team the Flames will face the Nitros this season unless they meet them again in the postseason, but heck of a matchup here as Nitros have really flexed their muscles so far. Colin Matthews is going to get a base knock. This should score Jake Evans. Evans rounding third, coming home. The throw, not in time as Jake Evans scores. And Colin Matthews with a beautiful piece of base running gets to second base. And he's fired up the dugout here for the Onondaga Flames. Flames get on the board. The score is now Nitros 5, Flames 1. The RBI double from Colin Matthews. Beautiful substitution by head coach Mike Cordero. Colin Matthews coming in the clutch for the Flames. Mike Netzel, who's 1 for 2 on the night, comes up to try to get a crack at it here. 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Colin Matthews on second base with a good-sized lead. This first pitch outside for ball 1. Fastball unable to get the zone. Netzel has been consistent as well. He's second on the team in batting average, batting a .378, listed as a pitcher on our roster, on our website. But Colin Matthews checked down at second base, back in time. But we usually see him in the outfield. We see him in the DH position. And he's solidified himself a role in this lineup for sure. 14 for 37 on the season, scored 10 runs himself. Only has 3 RBIs, though, and he's in a position to get another one here if he can score Colin Matthews from second base. Sabbath, the 1-0. In there for a strike as Mike Netzel watches it blow by. Count evens up at a ball and a strike here with one down in the bottom of the 6th inning. All Netzel has to do is get on base because A.J. DeFilippo's behind him, waiting on deck. This pitch back towards us again. Going to be a foul ball. DeFilippo hustles over to grab it. DeFilippo had the 6 RBI game last night, so if he can get Netzel on base, one of these next few guys can definitely drive in some runs. 1-2, Sabbath gets the sign from Brush. The 1-2 for Netzel is in the turf, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Colin Matthews had the RBI double to score Jake Evans for the first run of the game for the Onondaga Flames. Sabbath gets the sign from Brush, checks on Matthews. Here it is, just a bit outside. Count goes to full. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Mike Netzel. Talk about quality at-bats. Mike Netzel's had 2 of them so far in this ball game. Back-to-back full counts for Netzel on the evening. Last time he was able to rip a single. See if he can draw a walk or have another single here. This one cut on. This is down for a base knock. Colin Matthews rounding third base. Colin Matthews is going to score. Mike Netzel's going to second. Mike Netzel stands up with an RBI double. So back-to-back RBI doubles. Flames have cut into this ball game. Score is now 5-2. Beautiful job by the Flames, and that's exactly why these batters are in the position in the lineup that they are. As time is called, they're going to talk things over on the mound. Looks like a pitching coach for the Nitros. Don't see anyone warming up in the bullpen for the Nitros, so Sabbath's job is safe for now. But A.J. DeFilippo, with a runner in scoring position, always a threat to score some runs. Had a huge home run last night. And as Eric mentioned earlier, was the NYCBL Player of the Night for the Onondaga Flames. So congratulations to him. But he's 0 for 2 on the night so far. But the Flames, I mean, this is kind of, it's a reoccurring theme for them. I mean, there's so many games where they're down in these holes where it's like, you know, there's probably no chance they're going to be able to come back, or at least there's no chance they'll be able to come back in style. But just like that, the Flames put 2 on. This is a ball game once again. And just kind of the philosophy I have with baseball is you just have to chip away into the lead. You don't need to get 5 runs back in 1 inning, but if you can get a couple back at a time, give yourself, or at least put yourself in position to tie the ball game up before 9 innings. 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Mike Netzel out on second base. A.J. DeFilippo takes a deep breath and realizes how big this at-bat could be. Cut it to 2 here with a run scored. First pitch for DeFilippo in the turf for ball 1. And DeFilippo's batting .350 coming into this ball game. 14 for 42 now on the season. Here it is from Sabbath. Chopped off the end of his bat down the left field line, but it's going to go into foul territory. Count evens up at a ball and a strike for DeFilippo, the Columbia product. Teammate of Jack Chernow, of course. One ball, 1 strike with 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. As back-to-back RBI doubles have given the Flames 2 runs. This one chopped down the right field line. Dave Dennis, silky mitts, scoops up the ground ball. Count goes to a ball and a strike. 2 strikes, I should say. Sabbath has now worked himself into a favorable advantage on the mound. The 1-2 count here against DiFilippo. The heavy hitter for the Flames. Checks on Netzel. Here's the 1-2. Cut on back towards us. We'll do the 1-2 dance once again. One ball, two strikes. Netzel gets about a two-step lead off the second base bag with one down here. DiFilippo has to swing at anything close, of course, with the 1-2 count. See if he can make contact. This one chopped down the first base line. It gets past Hinckley. It's going to score another run. Here comes Mike Netzel. A.J. DiFilippo on his horse. He's standing at second. So how about that, folks? 3 straight RBI doubles, and the Flames have cut into this lead. The score is now Onondaga 3, the Wellsville Nitros 5 with one down. Love the effort from this group. I mean, Eric and I mentioned it in the pregame, the resilience of this group. They never give up no matter what the score is. Not that 5 runs is too big of a deficit for the Flames to get back into, but, I mean, this team is just, it's almost as if they forget the first half of the ball game and then just kind of play the second half as if it's 0-0. 5-3. A.J. DiFilippo out on second base with Brian Hart in the batter's box now. First pitch, swinging for the fence is Brian Hart. Cut on a miss for strike one. Still no one warming up in the bullpen. There is someone warming up. We'll have to get a read on that when we can. See how much further Sabbath will go. The 0-1. Cut on right back towards DiFilippo. This should be an easy out. And it's there. But he's safe. Not being able to make the throw in time. Benevolent. I'm not sure if he juggled the ball or he's just unsure of his decision there. Either way, a single for Brian Hart. A.J. DiFilippo advances to third base. And how about this? Runners on the corner for who else but the Lemoyne product, Casey Kretsch. Casey Kretsch in a huge position for the Flames. As Quinn O'Hara, I should say, warming up in the bullpen for the Nitros. So runners on the corners. Brian Hart on first. A.J. DiFilippo on third. 4 straight hits, and the Flames have battled back into this ball game. Casey Kretsch could tie it up here with the swing of a bat. In case he didn't get a whole lot of playing time at Lemoyne this season. But he's gotten a handful of playing time here. He's definitely developed as a player throughout the summer so far. Time is called by the catcher as he's going to go out to say something to Sabbath. And how about that? The Flames dugout starting to cheer just a little bit. Considering that Sabbath has to call timeout. But the Flames, I mean, they're just so consistent night in and night out, no matter what the score is, being able to get base runners, and sometimes they leave the bases loaded. A couple of times this season they probably have, more than they should. But either way, runners on the corners, Casey Kretsch could make this a 1-run lead or even tie the ball game with a swing of a bat. Sabbath gets some advice from Brush, and play will resume here in the bottom of the 6th as the Flames have put up 3 runs so far. 1 down. Sabbath gets the sign from Brush. Casey Kretsch thinks about going, but good decision not to, as that one was way inside for ball 1. O'Hara still warming up in the bullpen. See how much further Sabbath will go. If he gives up another hit, you have to imagine could be almost the end of the night for him. The 1-0 pitch here to see what Sabbath has in store for Casey. 1-0. Cut on. This is just going to be an easy pop out there. So, second out of the inning. Pop out to the shortstop. Benevolent. Mike Stefan comes up in a position with runners on the corner still. Stefan is 0 for 1 on the night. Reached on a walk his last at-bat. And again, we talk about quality at-bats. There's 3 guys that really stick out to me that are just patient at the plate, and they really know when to swing and when not to swing. Mike Stefan, Jack Chernow, and Mike Netzel have definitely proven that so far this season. First pitch from, this one's going to get past Brush. A.J. DiFilippo's coming home. A.J. DiFilippo's going to stand scoring, so how about that? The ball touches his mitt, so I'm not sure if that's going to be considered a pass ball from our rules expert, Eric Moon. Either way, the Flames have cut right back into this ballgame. How about this, folks? Nitros 5, Flames 4. As DiFilippo scores on the pass ball. And advancing to second base with the good base running there is Brian Hart. Mike Stefan could tie this ball game up. 2 down. Count as 1 ball, no strikes as Sabbath looks to throw at first base. And that's going to be on this. And he's going to advance to third because it's a balk. So a balk there by Sabbath. And you talk about people getting chirped as it looks like Hinckley's going to go have a word with them. You talk about, the Nitros, they've been chirping the Flames all evening, and now it's just coming back to bite them as the Flames get to have a laugh there. That one might be on SportsCenter's Not Top 10 as Sabbath checks over to first base, but there's no one even on the bag. Hinckley was playing off, of course, because, Brian Hart was on second base, not first. So with Brian Hart reaching third base on a balk, Mike Stefan in a huge position here. Yet to receive a pitch in this at-bat. Here it is. First pitch for Mike Stefan. That one's missing high. Count goes to 2 balls. No strikes. Flames only need 1 inning for an explosion here. 4 runs have come across the plate in the bottom of the 6th inning. Mike Stefan watches that pitch go by. Catches the corner. Count goes to 2 balls and a strike. Stefan, the Canisius product. And this place is coming to life. It looks like the dugout is having some good words here for Stefan. This one chopped off the end of his bat. And Eric and I have met the Stefan family quite a few times throughout our season so far. Very nice mother and father, his brother as well. We met him when the Flames played Genesee. 2-2 count here on Mike Stefan. 2 away, 1 on the corner. This one way outside. Count goes to full. Talked about quality at bats. Mike Stefan already has 1 walk on the night, potentially 2 here. And if I was a betting man, I would bet that Stefan is going to be able to draw it. But if it's close, he's going to swing. This one chopped back and an easy out there. Benevolent says no more as he stops the bleeding. But the Flames put up 4 runs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. They trail the Nitros 5-4 going into the top of the 7th inning as Eric Moon will take over play-by-play duties. We'll be right back here on Team Line.
What a difference an inning makes. Suddenly, the Flames are within 1 against the Wellsville Nitros. Back here at OCC Stadium for the 7th inning between the Nitros and the Flames. Eric Moon, Morgan Chapman with you tonight. Brandon Ross is on assignment. 6-7-8 in the Wellsville order to begin the 7th inning against Jimmy Flayhive. J.D. Isbell to lead things off. First one is popped up Right side, foul territory. Stefan is going after it, and it will drop just to his right. Stefan makes the sliding effort, but the ball was just out of reach.
And Eric, I give credit to Jimmy Flahey battling back after surrendering the home run the last inning as he collected a strikeout to end the inning, surrendered a walk as well. But either way, Flahey has done a really nice job on the mound this season.
Pearson sets up outside, but the pitch is on the inside corner. It's strike two regardless.
Fooled
Counts
everybody.
No balls and 2 strikes. Isbell, a 1-for-2 night. Triple and a run scored in the second, a walk in the third, a strikeout looking in the fourth. As the 0-2 is up and in, ticks off the glove of Peterson towards the Flame dugout.
And I wonder, Eric, sometimes when catchers get new gloves, it's a problem with squeezing it. I'm not sure if Trace got a new glove or not, but that could be the issue. We'll have to find out maybe post-game.
We'll see. Flahav has the sign ready to deal the 1-2. Here it is. And the pitch is low and in for ball 2. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And remember, Jimmy Flahav came into this game with one of the league's best ERAs, a very nice ERA at .69, which is good enough for third in the league coming into action tonight as Isbell chops one towards the right side. It's grabbed by Stefan. Flahav at the bag. Leaps, but he can't get to the bag in time.
See,
It's a tie, and it goes to the runner. Isbell's on with an infield hit.
I have a problem with that. I know that's the shift that they're supposed to have when that play happens. I think if Stefan stayed on the bag and Brian Hart charged the ball, he would have been able to get him out.
We'll see. Perhaps that might have been the play. Perhaps maybe it would have gone between Stefan and Hart if that was Hart's ball. Here is Aaron Brush, the catcher. Now came in as a defensive replacement in the 6th inning for Dusty Rogers. Rogers was 1-for-3 on the night. First one to Brush is fouled away to the right side. Strike one. The count is 0-1. Interesting note on him. Brush lists his favorite movie as not just one, but all 8 of the Star Wars movies. Now, I wouldn't be a favorite of all 8, but I mean, that is one dedicated Star Wars fan at the plate right there. As the 0-1 just misses up and away for ball 1, the count evens up at a ball and a strike.
When you can credit every single movie as being your favorite out of 8, Eric, usually when there's a sequel to one movie, it's like, oh, the first one was better, or the first one was the best. But when there's 8, for the Star Wars films, you can definitely say this one outweighs this one, or this one's better than this one. But, I mean, Brush, he's a fan of all 8.
Even Attack of the Clones, even the Phantom Menace. Which, well, we're not going to get into that. But
hey, we're judgment-free up here. If you're a fan, you're a fan.
We're like Planet Fitness. We're a judgment-free zone up here.
Yes, sir.
1-1 the count to Brush, the big Star Wars fan at the plate against Jimmy Flahive. 1-1 breaking ball is well outside. Ball 2, the count 2 balls and 1 strike.
Eric, if you had to pick one, which one would you pick? Quickly.
Empire strikes back.
All right, there it is.
That's an easy pick, but number 8, The Last Jedi, was very, very good. 2-1, swung on missed on the fastball. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And I do have a friend at Syracuse University, huge Star Wars fan, all right? So this was the night that the Solo trailer, the one that came out a month before the movie premiered. As here comes a 2-2, pitches high, ball 3. The count runs full out of 3 balls and 2 strikes. So we were both at the Citrus TV studios because we both attend Syracuse University, of course.
Right.
And so we're working that night, but in the process of working, he finds the time to show everybody in the studio the Solo trailer. Literally every single person. As the throw over to first was not in time. He's that big of a Star Wars fan. He decides, oh, I'm going to show... Have you seen the Star Wars trailer yet? Have you seen the Solo trailer yet? Literally everybody that walks up to him that night.
Should be a promo guy for the film. Perhaps.
Oh, yes, he should. 3-2 gets him looking. The breaking ball froze Brush at the plate, and the force is not strong with him this time up. One away. Here is Ryan Hinckley, the first baseman. He is 1-for-3 on the night with an RBI single.
I tell you what, folks, you haven't been up here the whole game with me, but Eric has been waiting all night for Aaron Brush to get in that bat.
Just to tell that story. First pitch is on the inside corner. It's strike one. The count is 0-1 to Hinckley. But on the field, Flahive gets the first out of the inning, and now if he gets a ground ball here, potentially an inning-ending double play.
Yeah.
To get out of the inning, give his boys a chance to tie the game, maybe even take the lead, as that was ripped down the right field line, but a well foul. Count now, no balls and 2 strikes to Hinckley.
And going back to the resilience thing that I was talking about earlier, Eric, how about Jimmy Flahoff? Surrenders the home run, shakes it off like it's nothing, and he's battling right back into this ball game.
0-2 the count to Hinckley. Here it is. Fastball just misses the outside corner. That is a great pitch from Flahive, regardless of whether it hits the zone or not.
When I interviewed him,
1 ball and 2 strikes.
And when I interviewed him, he talked about his competitive edge a lot. He said that he was able to, he's just a different player when he's on the mound as opposed to when he's in the dugout just hanging out with his teammates. He's just a competitor out there.
1-2, fastball is up and away for ball 2. The count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Still another pitch to work with for Flahive. May stay with the outside corner fastball to try and get Hinckley to look at it. Here's 2-2. Breaky ball in the outer part of the plate is fouled away. And the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So runner on first and 1 away. As Hinckley takes a second to adjust his batting gloves. Steps back in with a 2-2 count. And Flahive looking in for the sign from Trace Peterson. He has it. Looks at the runner in first. The 2-2 is fouled away to the right side again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Gunnar Groen hustles to give the home plate umpire some new baseballs after a good start last night against the Hornell Dodgers. Now getting to the Nitros schedule for a second here. They have, for them as well as for the Flames, this is their last game. This is the last cross-division game for both sides tonight. Another 2-2. Breaky ball just misses the inside corner. Maybe a little up, too. It's a full count now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Nitros hosted the Sherrill Silversmiths last night. Lost 8-3. Silversmiths are the next opponent for Onondaga, as a 3-2 is fouled to the screen.
How about this at-bat from Hinckley, though? He's really battling against Flahive.
High quality at-bat for Hinckley here. 3 balls and 2 strikes. He has fouled off, I don't even know how many pitches, but he's fouled off a whole bunch of pitches. It's about a 10-pitch at-bat right now. Hinckley the righty against Flahive the lefty. Here's another payoff pitch, and it is ball 4, just low. And on to first base is Hinckley with the walk. On to second is J.D. Isbell with 1 away.
Second walk surrendered in this ball game from Flahive and just lost Hinckley. It was a great battle between both of them.
Now here is Preston Strainer, the DH, at the plate with a chance to respond to the Flames' 4-run 6th inning. Perhaps extend the lead for the Nitros and give them a little breathing room as time is called at the request of Strainer. Now for the Wellsville Nitros last night, as Robert Anders goes out to the mound now to talk to the infield, Trace Peterson and Jimmy Flahive. For the Nitros, the loss against the Silversmiths was their first loss against the Eastern Division last night. They're 4-1 against the East. Beat the Saltcats 8-4 in Wellsville. Against the Spartans, a 4-3 victory. Against the Crush, an 8-7 victory. And the Generals, they beat them 4-2.
And Eric, I know you don't live over there at Bryan Stratton with us, but Jimmy Flahive and the boys, I mean, they're always kind of picking on Flahive, but it's all in good fun. He enjoys it, and he's always having a good laugh. It's nothing bad. It's just, Flahive just does silly things sometimes, and everyone just kind of points it out.
As a matter of fact, the night before our post-game interview with him, the night before we wanted to interview him, and if you've seen our post-game interviews, you know about the shenanigans that take place. They were preparing. They were heavily preparing for the shenanigans for Jimmy Flahive because they told us, no, not tonight. We're not ready for him yet. First one to Strainer is up and away for ball 1. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. As Flahive is a little above 40 pitches in his outing now through an inning and a third. Peterson gives him the sign, and Flahive's ready to deal the 1-0. Here it is, and the pitch is high again. Ball 2, the count 2 balls and no strikes. Strainer is 0 for 2 on the night. Ground out to second. A walk and a run score in the fourth and a strikeout swinging in the fifth. Here comes the 2-0 from Flahive. The fastball is popped up foul. Netzel chasing after, but it will get out of play. Strike one, the count now 2 balls and 1 strike to Strainer. Strainer out of a native of Perkinston, Mississippi, as mentioned before. As here's the 2-1. That pitch catches the inside corner. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Strainer in high school, he graduated from Stone High School. He was a 2-sport athlete, played baseball and football. In baseball, he played in the South Mississippi All-Star Classic, Seniors Game, and Futures Game. 2-2 fouled back to the netting. And the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Strainer. These last 2 bats have gone pretty long as the Nitros are putting together some high-quality at-bats, making Flahive earn outs to keep Wellsville off the scoreboard, potentially.
Chris Burnett is warming up in the dugout for the Onondaga Flames, so see how much further Flahive will go.
2-2 pitch, grounded to the right side and through the hole for a base hit. Rounding third and heading home is Isbell, and he puts on the brakes as Mike Netzel throws it back into the infield. Bases loaded now with 1 away for the top of the order, Chandler Pelias. Pelias steps up with the bases loaded. On third base is J.D. Isbell. On second is Ryan Hankley. Preston Strainer on first base. Pelias steps in with a 1-for-3 line. A lefty-lefty matchup here, as the first one to Pelias is a breaking ball outside. Ball 1, the count 1-0. Pelias led off the game with a triple to the right center field gap. As here comes the 1-0 from Flahive, and he hits one high in the air. Deep down the right field line, but that will go foul. And one hop the fence. Good break for the Flames. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Pelias in his other at-bats, though, he flied out to left in the second inning. In the fourth inning, he reached on a walk. Advanced to second and third base, each on a pass ball, but he was stranded at third. 1-1. Breaky ball just misses the inside corner.
Oof, I don't know, Eric. Maybe our view isn't the best, but that had to be very close.
It was pretty close. Maybe it did hit the inside corner and was a little bit up. It was pretty close to that upper inside corner of the zone. Regardless, as the 2-1 catches the outside corner this time. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I don't understand how you, as a baseball player, you can't let these things pile up in your mind, but I don't know how they just, quickly forget all these things that happen, these little mistakes or these little errors that they make.
That's why baseball is a mental game, as the 2-2 is swung on a miss by Pelias. That's strike 3 and out number 2. A big out number 2 for Flahive. And the bases are still loaded with 2 away. The Nitros still only lead by 1 for now. But here is Cyrus Grimes.
Cyrus Grimes is a guy that Trace Peterson has had words with, Riley Glenn has had words with as well. So he's one of the big chirpers on this team. See if he can get a hit here.
A feisty player, but a good one at the plate. Hasn't shown that yet tonight. He's 0 for 2, but he can hit a bomb at any point. However, he pops it up here. Shallow center field, Brian Hart to get it. Jack Cherno calls him off, makes the catch, and that retires the side. For the third time tonight, the Nitros strand the bases loaded, and the Flames still only trail by 1 with some momentum going to the bottom of the 7th. back at OCC Stadium for the bottom of the 7th inning. Flames avoid another run on the scoreboard for the Nitros after Wellsville strands the bases loaded in the top of the 7th inning after the Flames scored 4 in the 6th. They have momentum, and perhaps they'll be able to tie the game here, but we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. Morgan Chapman, we are not getting ahead of ourselves. This time is called by the home plate umpire.
It's a chirping again, Eric.
He's telling the Wellsville dugout to shut up, to say the least.
For sure.
I'm a very blunt person. That's why I said it that way. Here's the first one to Trace Peterson. From the new pitcher, it's Quinn O'Hara, as that one gets by the catcher, Brush. Ball one, the count 1-0.
Taking you back to the 6th inning, though, 4 straight hits for the Flames, and they are just really caught fire.
Here's a 1-0, and the pitch is low and gets by the catcher, Brush again. It's ball 2, the count 2 balls and no strikes. O'Hara out of Hill Junior College. He is an incoming freshman at Hill Junior College. And for the Nitros so far this year, 4 games, 4 starts. As the pitch is in there for a strike. 2-1 to Trace. O'Hara has pitched 12 innings, allowed 17 runs, 22 hits. As that gets away from Brush into the backstop again, it's 3 balls and 1 strike. So good hitters count now for Trace. Flames dugout cheering on Trace. However, Mike Cordero is walking towards the dugout just to quiet him down. As that pitch catches the inside corner. Trace thought it was ball 4, but not so. Count runs full out, 3 balls to 2 strikes as Mike Cordero continues to tell his team just to quiet it down a little bit. Just so they don't get a warning. As a 3-2, Peterson did go. He argues with the home plate umpire. It gets by the catcher. It's a throw down to first is in time because Peterson wasn't going, and it goes back to the check swing again. It looked like he went 60% again, Morgan Chapman.
Exactly. I mean, it's just one of those things. You talk about the bat being parallel and breaking the plane. I think that call could go either way. Honestly, Eric, that probably could go either way with different umpires, but for this position that Trace was in here with the Flames still trailing, obviously he's frustrated.
This is, though, the first umpire I've seen where if the bat ticks the side of home plate, it's a strike.
Right. It's very unusual.
Either way, it's a strikeout. And the first one to Jake Evans is a swing and miss at a fastball, rather a foul tip that got a not so great area on Aaron Brush, and he went down for a second here.
Second catcher that's had to take one for the team. We saw Dusty Rogers have the same kind of situation, and it might have taken him out of the ball game as the home plate umpire is going to go out on the mound to talk to O'Hara. But, I mean, going back to Mike Cordero quieting down the dugout, Eric, we can talk about that for a second. I mean, I just love that because he doesn't want them to, reach to what the Nitros are doing over there in their dugout.
It's about being the better team,
Taking the high road.
Right, taking the high road. That's what I was thinking of saying, but I couldn't come up with it for some reason. As here's Jake Evans. You really hate to see it.
You do. You really do.
0-1 to Evans from O'Hara. And the breaky ball catches the outside corner. Strike 2, the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Jake Evans was in this position last time he was at the plate. Had the 0-2 count, but got a single out of it. Perhaps he can do it again.
And with that 0-2 count his last time up, he just kept fouling off pitch after pitch after pitch until he got a good one and he was able to get a hit out of it. As the home plate umpire is talking to the catcher, Aaron Brush, again.
I think they're just giving him another second, Eric. As those hits, they don't go away just like that. It's going to take some time for him to be himself again.
0-2 the count to Jake Evans. And here it is from O'Hara. Breaky ball in the dirt. Evans almost slipped in the batter's box. He's okay, though. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Something noticeable to me, a couple security guards are now in the stands to the left side, observing the game now. Here's a 1-2 from O'Hara. And the breaky ball, Evans thought about offering at it, but it's in the dirt. Ball 2, the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was not even close to a check swing. Barely got off his shoulder.
But you do have to be careful with your check swing
Hmm.
here, and that's the thing that Trace Peterson can go tell his teammates in the dugout. Make sure that you don't go into the other batter box.
2-2 is a breaky ball that just misses the
Oof.
outside corner. Really good take, really disciplined take by
Yeah.
Jake Evans. And the count runs full now to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Very high quality at bat here, whether he gets a hit or not. Here's the payoff. Low and in the dirt for ball 4. A walk for Jake Evans, and the tying run is on for the Flames.
And Jake Evans being inserted back into the starting lineup tonight, man, has he deserved it. He has a hit, he's 1 for 2, and now with the walk representing the tying run in this game, let's see if Steady Eddie, Jack Cherno, can bring him in.
Here is Jack. He's 0 for 3 on the night, but again, short-term memory.
Right.
Those are his first 3 at-bats. We'll see what he does in this one as the Flames begin their 4th turn through the order tonight. Left-hand batter Cherno faces the right-handed O'Hara. The first pitch breaky ball is in the dirt, low and in. Ball 1, the count 1-0. That last at-bat, the walk by Jake Evans, that perhaps it'll tire out Quinn O'Hara. That's something we will see later if it does or not as the game goes on here. Here comes the 1-0, and that pitch finds the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike to Cherno, and yes, it was a high-quality at-bat by Evans. And if you look at the pitch count in that at-bat, you definitely say so. 12 pitches. 12-pitch walk to Jake Evans.
He's got a decent lead at first base.
Throw over to first is not in time.
But Jake Evans, he has to be a threat to steal. He hasn't registered a stolen base attempt on the season so far, but with his speed, I mean, he has to be a threat to steal, Eric.
We'll see what he has on the base paths. But again, as a base runner, you don't have to steal bases to be a good base runner. 1-1. Fastball's high for ball 2. The count 2 balls and 1 strike. And what we've seen early in this at-bat is that Cherno is doing his usual thing. He's working the count.
Yep. I swear, it's like him and Mike Stefan. They have that same approach every time they're at the plate.
And that's something that Jack was talking about as the fastball's up and away. Ball 3, the count now 3 balls and 1 strike. It's something that's really instilled in him because throughout his freshman season at Columbia this year, that was something the Columbia coaches were preaching to him as well. Get good quality at bats, make the pitchers work for their outs. And he's doing that same thing here with the Flames, where quality at bats are preached as well.
Right.
Here's 3-1. Pitch is low and in for ball 4. Cherno draws a walk. It's back-to-back walks for the Flames. And there are 2 on with 1 away for Colin Matthews.
Colin Matthews, he was the reason that things got started there. Led the RBI double last time he was at the plate, and another timeout's going to be called for the Nitros as O'Hara could be over for them already.
His night is over. We'll tell you all about the Nitro pitcher when we come back as we see the pitching coach and O'Hara. O'Hara not happy about coming out of this ball game, shaking his head at the pitching coach. We'll tell you about the new pitcher for the Nitros when we come back. Back for the continuation of the bottom of the seventh. New pitcher and new catcher for the Wellsville Nitros is Nicholas Hertz, the lefty for Wellsville, and now catching is Devontae Washington. As Colin Matthews steps up, second baseman Moran coming in as Matthews takes a big swing and a miss at a first pitch fastball. Strike one, the count is 0-1.
Not sure what the read was on that for him to come in like that, because Colin Matthews, I mean, he gets a hold of the ball. He can rip it out to the outfield.
He has quite the power. He's got a power swing
Yes, he does.
at the plate. His RBI singles last time up was a laser through the left side hole. A one lined hard, but just foul down the right side. There's that power again, just a little late on the swing. 0-2 the count. And you see it in batting practice every day with this Flames team. Matthews hits the ball well.
Yes, he does.
Sometimes his stats have gone down a little bit from the beginning of the year because, yes, he's still hitting the ball, but he's getting some bad luck at the plate. You know, he's flied out to center a lot on a good fly ball. He's lined out a couple times as time is called at the request of Colin Matthews. But he's staying with his approach. Here comes the 0-2 from Hertz, and the breaking ball is well outside. Ball one, the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Matthews drove in the first run of the game in the 6th inning for the Flames. Onondaga trails by 1 with 2 runners on and 1 away. 1-2 fastball is well outside. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Matthews. That was his only at-bat so far in the game, the RBI single. Came in as a defensive substitution for Adam Gordon and left during the 5th inning. 2-2 coming from Hertz here. And the fastball's in the dirt. Ball 3. And Matthews, like Jake Evans, battles back from 0-2 to 3-2.
Yeah. Again, another quality at-bat from Colin Matthews. And this is a guy, you leave one over the plate, he's going to make you pay.
4 quality at-bats, 4 batters this inning for the Flames. Third full count, here it is, and Matthews swings and misses at a fastball. Gunning for the fences as he went down to one knee. And that is strike 3 and out number 2. Boy, he wanted that one.
Yes, he did.
And here's Mike Netzel.
Well, you can always
with a 2-out opportunity.
You always can expect a quality at-bat from this guy. Let's see if he's aggressive or he takes his time with 2 away with 2 runners on.
He is 2 for 3 tonight. He recorded the first Flames hit of the game back in the 4th inning after Daniel Sabbath retired the first 11 batters he faced. First pitch fastball is on the outside corner to Netzel. It's strike 1. The count is 0-1. So Quinn O'Hara faced 3 batters for Wellsville. He walked 2 and struck out 1. Pitched the third of an inning. Didn't allow a hit. As the 0-1 is hit in the air to center field. Lazy fly ball for Polias, and he makes the catch for the final out of the 7th. Flames strand 2, but they still trail the Nitros by only 1. It is 5-4 Wellsville after 7. Back for the 8th inning between the Nitros and the Flames. Through 7. It is a 5-4 Wellsville lead. Nitros went up 5-0 in this game, and then a 4-run 6th inning got the Flames within 1. And the new pitcher on for the Flames, it is Chris Burnett out of Cal Poly Pomona. Burnett has been a great reliever for the Flames so far this year. He's pitched in 4 games, 4 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts. For him on the year on the bump. He faces John Benevolent to begin the top of the 8th inning. Righty-righty matchup. First one to Benevolent. It's a breaking ball up and in. Did not quite hit Benevolent, but it ticked off the glove of Peterson to the backstop. Ball 1, the count 1-0. Jimmy Flahive was the previous pitcher for the Flames. He pitched 2 innings, allowing 3 hits, 2 walks, struck out 3, and allowed 1 run on the home run by Benevolent in his last plate appearance. Here's a 1-0 from Burnett, and the fastball is high for ball 2, and the count now 2 balls and no strikes. Time to take a look around the league at the NYCBL scoreboard. 4 other games in action tonight. 2 already final. 2 in the late stages of the ball game like this one. As here comes the 2-0 from Burnett. The fastball is inside for ball 3. Count 3 balls and no strikes. Earlier tonight, the Cheryl Silversmiths got a half-game advantage on the Flames in the Eastern Division with a 10-9 victory over the Genesee Rapids. Silversmiths are now 9-7 on the year. Rapids are 7-7. And then in Cortland, the Niagara Power beat the Crush 9-2. As the 3-0 fastball is inside for ball 4. And coming out of the pen, Burnett misses with 4 straight pitches. And Benevolent's on with a 4-pitch walk to begin the 8th inning. One thing to note is that all 5 games tonight are intra-division. So it's all Eastern team versus Western team tonight in the NYCBL. 3 games in action at the moment, including this one, as Burnett rifles one to first, not in time. In Rochester, the Richmond lead the Saltcats 5-2. And then in Hornell, the Syracuse Spartans made the trip to Hornell tonight after the Flames did last night, and the Spartans are in control, to say the least, as Burnett finds the zone with a fastball in the outside corner. It's 0-1. Spartans are leading the Dodgers 11-1 in the top of the 9th inning out west. Spartans, of course, lead the Eastern Division as the throw to first is not in time. They are 8-5 on the year, about to be 9-5 if Hornell does not score 10 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. They scored 2 against the Flames last night. And that would put them a game ahead of the Silversmiths, a game and a half ahead of the Flames, pending this result. Breaking ball finds his own for strike 2, and the count now no balls and 2 strikes to Grayson Williams, the right fielder. So getting back to the Niagara-Cortland game, the Power improved to 7-9, and the Crush falls to 7-9. Cortland is now a game and a half back of the Flames. Throw over to first is not in time. So after Sherrill won, the Flames at the moment are a half game back of Sherrill, still a game and a half ahead of Rome and Cortland for the 3rd spot in the Eastern Division. Here comes the 0-2 from Burnett, and a swing and a miss by Williams. It's strike 3 and out number 1. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Grayson Williams. He goes down on 3 pitches. The batter now is Ian Moran, making his 2nd plate appearance of the night after coming in for Andres Perez at second base during the 5th inning. Struck out Sweeney his first time up. Throw over to first is not in time. It is way too early to discuss the playoff race, but the way the playoffs work in the NYCBL, this is not something we have discussed before on Flames broadcasts, but the top 3 teams in each division get a playoff spot. As the fastball's up for ball 1, the count 1-0. Top 3 teams in each division get a playoff spot. The 2nd and 3rd place teams in each division play one game to determine who plays the top seed, the division winner in the regular season, in a 3-game series. It's sort of like that game between the 2 and the 3, as the throw to first is not in time again. It's sort of like the wild card game in baseball, in Major League Baseball. And so then the winner of that game would face the winner in their respective division in a best of three, and then the winner of those series would play in another best of three in the NYCBL Championship Series. Squared to bunt and pulling it back as Moran. Pitch gets by Peterson. Attempting to steal second was Williams, and was benevolent anyway, so that'll go down as a stolen base. 2-0, however, is the count. 3-0 rather is the count to Ian Moran. And so the Flames are in that third spot right now, regardless of the result tonight. They are in that third spot. If the playoffs were to start today, of course they won't, as the home plate umpire is talking to the Flames dugout after some shouting, telling them to quiet down. So the Flames, as of now, would play the Shell Silversmiths in that play-in game for the Eastern Division. But back to this one, as the count is 2-0 on Ian Moran. It says 3-0 on the scoreboard here. Here is the 2-0 from Burnett, and the fastball is high for ball 3. Count is 3 balls and no strikes now. And one thing that some people can admire, some people can get appalled at, is the patience from these umpires tonight. This game, from the first pitch, has been chippy on both sides, especially the Wellsville side in particular. As here's the 3-0, fastball's up and away for ball 4. Runners at first and second with the one away. And here is J.D. Isbell, the third baseman. We have seen some words exchanged in a couple instances in this game. The home plate umpire now walking towards the Nitro dugout for a second, hoping they quiet down. Rather, one of the players needed to go out to get a shin guard from Ian Moran. Burnett looks in for the sign. He's ready. And here's the first one to, well, I guess not. Burnett fakes the pickoff to second. Isbell, meanwhile, has had a good night at the plate. 2 for 3 with a triple and a run scored. Now the first one to Isbell is popped up. Behind home plate, Peterson going after it. He's calling for it, putting his hand up, trying to find it, and that falls just out of his reach between him and the backstop. He is okay, as he came out of our vision for a second. It is strike one. It goes down as strike one in the at-bat to Isbell. And updates from the other two games in action right now. The Rochester-Richmond did put up a run in the last inning. They now lead the Syracuse Saltcats 6-2 in the top of the ninth inning in Rochester. And then the Spartans decided, well, we're not done against the Hornell Dodgers. Top of the ninth inning, they put up 3 more. They now lead Hornell 14-1. As the pitch is inside, gets away from Peterson. Both runners advance on the wild pitch from Burnett. And now 2 are in scoring position with 1 away. Home plate umpire stares down the Wellsville dugout again, just for a second. One and one is the count to Isbell. Last at bat was a single to lead off the 7th inning. Here comes the 1-1 from Burnett, and the breaking ball just misses the inside corner. Ball 2, the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Flames infield playing in now with the double play possibility no more after the wild pitch. Outfielders playing straight away. Flames need to keep the Nitros off the scoreboard to preserve the 1-run deficit. Pitch is low and gets behind Peterson, but not far. It's ball 3, the count, 3 balls and 1 strike. Burnett in danger of loading the bases here with a 3-ball count on the Nitro third baseman. Burnett looks in for the sign. He has it. Here's the 3-1. The fastball is lined out towards second and right in the mitt of Brian Hart. Easy catch made on the jam shot, and that is a big out number 2. Runners hold where they are as a result of the lineout, and here is Devontae Washington for his first at-bat of the night. Washington erroneously is listed as a pitcher on the Nitro roster. He is a catcher from Twinsburg, Ohio, attends Ohio University. He is the third catcher to make an appearance tonight for Wellsville. First one of him is a fastball in the inside corner. Strike one, the count is 0-1. Washington in the 7th inning replaced Aaron Brush defensively. And Brush replaced Dusty Rogers defensively in the 6th. 0-1. Washington pops it up but foul to the right side at strike 2. Burnett's ahead in the at-bat, 0-2. Trying to get out of this jam. And for the Nitros, 3 times tonight they have stranded the bases loaded. And in total, they have stranded 12 runners on base through 7 innings. Burnett has the sign. He's ready to deal the 0-2 to Washington. Here it is. Fastball hit in the air. Crushed down the left field line, but that one, luckily for the Flames, is foul. That was at least 400 feet down the left field line. Definition of a no-doubter off the bat, but luckily for the Flames, that one was tagged foul. 0-2 still the count. Maybe it would have gone a little more than... Maybe it went a little further than 400 feet. My goodness. You know Burnett's not going to throw that pitch again. Here's another 0-2. The breaky ball gets him looking. He didn't go with the fastball. He went with the breaky ball. He salutes the cap to the Wellsville dugout, and he strikes out Washington to get out of the jam. Nitros strand 2 more. They have stranded 14 in the game, and heading to the bottom of the 8th inning, the Flames still trail by 1. Back for the bottom of the 8th inning between the Nitros and the Flames. The chippiness up to a new level after Chris Burnett tipped his cap to the Wellsville dugout after striking out Devontae Washington, looking to strand 2 Nitro runners in the top half of the inning. We'll see if the Flames, meanwhile, can tie this ball game up, maybe even take the lead. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, they put up 4 to get back in the game in the 6th. And now they have a chance once again here in the 8th, as A.J. DeFilippo leads things off against Nicholas Hertz. First pitch fastball's in there for strike 1. Hertz came in to face the last two batters of the seventh as DiFilippo sent a slow roller to second, picked on a low hop by Moran. The throw to first is in time for the first out of the eighth. 2 pitches and 1 away for Wellsville. And now here's Bryant Hart, the second baseman. It was 1 for 3 on the night. So as I was saying, as Devontae Washington heads out to the bump to talk to Nicholas Hertz, Hertz came in to face the final 2 batters of the 7th inning. With 1 out and runners on first and second, he struck out 1 and got Mike Netzel to fly out to center. One out, nobody on for Hart. Here's the first pitch, squares up the bunt, lays it down, but it hit him while he was in the box. And it's strike 1 on the foul ball. Luckily, he was not out of the box, because if he was out of the box, that would have been an out. The second of the inning. Already. 0-1 the count. And here it is. The breaking ball catches the outside corner. It's strike 2, the count 0-2. So after going to a full count against Colin Matthews in his first at-bat on the mound, Nicholas Hertz has not missed the zone. As here's the 0-2. Just as I say that, the breaking ball's in the dirt for ball 1. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. He has been able to shut out the Flames to this point against the first 3 batters. Time is called at the request of the home plate umpire as Bryant Hart steps back in. Hertz has the sign. He winds and deals the 1-2, which is a fastball outside for ball 2. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Casey Kretsch on deck for the Flames. As Hart swings and misses at a breaking ball low and in. Drop third strike by Washington, but he throws down to first in time for the out. That'll be a strikeout and a 2-3 putout for the second out of the 8th inning. Here's Casey Kretsch with a new bat after he popped out to short his last time up, but his bat broke. As a result, first one, a Kretsch hit in the air, a fly ball right side. It is caught by Moran coming out from his position to short right field, and that will retire the side in the 8th. Flames go down to 1-2-3, and they still trail Wellsville by the score of 5-4, heading to the 9th.
Welcome back to the Onondaga Flames Team Line live stream. I'm Morgan Chapman to bring you the final inning of this ball game as the Onondaga Flames still trail 4-5 here in the top of the 5th inning. Leading off is Ryan Hinckley, the first baseman, who is 1 for 3 on the night, reached on a walk back in the 7th inning.
Home plate umpire pointing to somebody, maybe in the Nitros bullpen this time.
We'll have to see. A lot of chatter back and forth now in this ball game. Nick Garcia on the bump for the Flames. I've liked Nick's appearances so far this season, Eric.
He has been good to this point. There are essentially two closers on this Flames roster, Nick Garcia and Keon Taylor. They have been the ones to record the saves.
And looks like some more chatter from the Nitros. And it might be the batter, Hinckley, as the home plate umpire says that's enough. I think Trace Peterson pointed out that he was saying something, and now all kinds of confusion on the field. See if they can resume play, as this one is almost at its breaking point, Eric. First pitch from Garcia, way outside. That one wasn't even close. Had no grip on that ball. Blows right by Trace. He had no chance of catching that one.
That's a first pitch fastball that he just gripped a little too tightly.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe some pent-up aggression in that pitch. I don't know. 1-0 is the count here. Nitro's been tripping the Flames this whole game. Here's the 1-0. Cut on and missed. And Nick Garcia making Hinckley look foolish. But chatter has gone back and forth. Mike Cordero seemed to shut it down for the Flames, which, again, that's just the kind of guy he is. He's not going to stand for that, even if the other team's going to try to get them to go to that level. 1-1. Here's from Garcia. The delivery cut on and missed again. Nick Garcia starting to feel himself a little bit out on the mound. This is what the Flames need. They need a 1-2-3 inning, and then they need a long inning to either tie it up or take the lead, as they still trail by 1 here in the top of the 9th. Garcia gets a pitch he likes from Peterson. Gets his feet set on the mound. Winds up. Here is a 1-2. Just missing high. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, if you're the Flames, this is something they've been trying to do throughout the whole game to this point, because the Nitros have been very boisterous from the first pitch. Just avoid the chatter, play your game.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Garcia gets the sign for Peterson. Here's the 2-2. Cut on back towards us. We'll do the 2-2 once again. But, I mean, this is one of those games, Eric. I know you've played sports throughout your life. I have too. It's just, with all this chatter, with all the chirping that's going on, it's one that you really, really want to be the winner of.
Well, I played hockey for much longer than I did baseball, and the chatter in hockey was constant.
Right.
Some games were much chippier than others. Even many were chippier than this game.
Right.
And things would get out of hand. You would see a lot of penalties. I'm surprised the umpires are letting all this happening, though.
Yeah.
For so long in this game, surprised there hasn't been an ejection to this point. They have been incredibly patient, to say the least.
Sure have. 2-2 in the turf there, bouncing off Peterson's gear. Count goes to full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. But we've seen multiple ejections so far this season. We saw the Salt Cats game get chippy. This game's getting pretty chippy. We've seen another one here. It was just where the home plate umpires had enough. Immediately will eject a player or a coach. So, like Eric mentioned, these umpires are very patient. 3-2. Here's a payoff way outside, and it's going to be a walk surrendered to Hinckley.
That's another one. Garcia just gripped a little too tightly on the payoff. I don't expect Robert Anders to go to the mound. He's not, but Garcia's taking a walk off the bump, trying to calm himself down just a little bit so that he doesn't do that again, where he grips the ball a little too tightly, goes low and away, and it's a ball.
Well, especially now with a runner on base, if this one gets past Peterson, could be trouble. Flames still trying to make sure this game the lead gets no larger than 1 run as they trail 5-4. Bringing up Preston Stringer. First pitch for Stringer, outside and low for ball 1. Peterson able to bring it into his glove. We've seen Trey struggle at times behind the plate this evening with some pass balls and some wild pitches mixed together, but still in there fighting in that catcher's position. Hinckley on first. 1-0. In there for a strike. Nice bounce back pitch there from Nick Garcia. Stringer is 1 for 3 on the night. Had a single back in the 7th inning. Also reached on a walk in the 4th. Came around to score one of the 5 runs for the Nitros. Here's the 1-1. Cut on and missed. Either way, he did go. And Eric, we've been discussing this throughout the broadcast about the home plate umpire and his decision to call a check swing or a strike. And obviously that one definitely went around.
That was an obvious to any home plate
Right.
umpire. He broke the plane and then some with that swing.
Sure did. 1-2 count here. See if Garcia can collect his first out of the inning. Checks on Hinckley at first. Comes set. Here's the 1-2. Low and outside. Count evens up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He's been missing in the same spot. It's this lower right corner here. From us, it's the lower right corner. 2-2. Peterson sets up. Garcia comes set. Here it is. Cut on and missed. Beautiful pitch there from Nick Garcia, collecting his first strikeout. And talk about having the 2 different closers with 2 different approaches. Nick Garcia throwing some heat there to get his first strikeout victim.
Both have power fastballs, though, and Keon, we saw it especially in the 10th inning last night. You just saw it right here from Nick Garcia with a high fastball. No chance for Strainer to even make contact with that one.
Absolutely not. Chandler Polias up to the bat now for the Nitros, as he is 1 for 4 on the evening. Had the triple to lead things off, but has been very quiet since. Walked back in the 4th. This one cut on, popped up. Mike Netzel underneath it, ranging back and collects the second out of the inning. Just like that, there are 2 away. With a fly out to right field, Mike Netzel is able to make a play, and Cyrus Grimes will come up next, the left fielder. Grimes coming into this ball game, he was really the heavy hitter, but has yet to do any damage in this game so far. He had the hit by pitch, and he's also collected a walk to his name, but he was a flyout victim, strikeout victim, and then also another flyout victim, so 0 for 3 on the night. Grimes still trying to add to this lead, though. Runner on first is Hinckley. Garcia comes set. First pitch inside, backing up Grimes. It's going to be ball 1, and Cyrus Grimes, Eric mentioned earlier, he talks the talk, but he can also walk the walk, Eric, as he's can back it up with his play. He hasn't really backed it up too much tonight, but sure is had some conversations with the home plate umpire, Trace Peterson, Riley Glenn, and others. This one high and inside again, missing for ball 2. Count goes to 2-0 on Grimes.
He's reached base a couple times with a hit batsman and a walk, but when you look at just his hitting tonight, he really hasn't walked the walk yet.
Yeah.
But he's such a good hitter that he could at any point in the game bust this game wide open, potentially even with a 2-run bomb here.
Absolutely. Garcia definitely has to be careful. 2-0. This one going to get past Peterson. Hinckley thought about going, made the business decision not to go, as Peterson's able to jog over to grab it. Count goes to 3-0. 2-1, excuse me, as that one was a foul ball. That was in there for a strike, just dropped by Peterson, excuse me. So 2 balls, 1 strike for Grimes. Garcia checks on Hinckley at first. Gets the sign from Peterson. Here's the 2-1. In there, cut on and missed. And Eric, you mentioned him trying to hit the 2-run bomb. He was definitely swinging for the 2-run bomb there. Swing and a miss, though, and now Garcia is 1 strike away from getting out of the top of the 9th inning, giving the Flames a chance to tie this ball game up or perhaps win it with a walk-off. 2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 down here in the top of the 9th inning. Garcia gets the sign from Peterson. See if he gets Grimes to swing at this one. Here it is. Cut on, popped up. Mike Netzel making his way, ranging back. Netzel makes the play, 3rd out of the inning. So, straining another runner on base are the Nitros. Lead still is Wellsville 5, Onondaga 4 going into the bottom of the 9th. We'll be right back with the bottom of the 9th inning here on Team Line. 3 outs left in this ball game here in the bottom of the ninth inning. The Flames have 3 outs left to tie this ball game up. 2 runs will win the game, Eric Moon. 1 will tie it. We have Mike Stefan, Trace Peterson, and Jake Evans. Can they get it done?
Get one first. That's really what you have to do it. It's the bottom of the ninth inning. You got to extend this game at least.
First pitch for Stefan way outside from Nicholas Hertz. And this is exactly a perfect position for Mike Stefan with his patience at the plate, leading off the top of the ninth. It sets the tone for the rest of the guys to be patient and make sure you make the pitcher throw to you. The 1-0. Hertz comes set, gets a sign from Washington. Here it is. In there, low for a strike one. Count evens up at a ball and a strike.
And if there's one thing you absolutely need to see from the Flames batting order here in the bottom of the ninth inning, quality at bats.
Yeah, we've been preaching it the
It's
whole
something
game.
we've been saying all night, something we've been saying all season.
1-1, chopped. This was going to get down for a base knock. Mike Stefan, he says, Eric, you want a quality at bat? I'll give you one. Brings in the single to lead things off. Now we have Trace Peterson, who's going to get pinch hit for, or perhaps a pinch runner's going to come in. It looks like Brady Wing, and Reed Gibbs is going to come into the ball game as a pinch hitter for Trace Peterson. It just kind of makes sense. It's a good decision, I believe, from head coach Mike Cordero, as Peterson was 0 for 3 in the night. And Eric, the biggest moment, I think, of the season for Reed Gibbs was at Cortland when he unloaded the bases, had that shot down the left field line.
That was only his second at-bat of the season with that bases clearing triple to center field.
Yes, sir.
Against Cortland. We haven't seen a whole lot of him since. I don't think we've seen him in the last week and a half at least. We'll see what he has here at the plate.
Huge position as it checking on Stefan. Has to be careful. Don't want to make any mental errors this late in the game. Mike Stefan represents the tying run. Reed Gibbs going to jog over to Mike Cordero, get some last-minute instruction from his head coach, the boss man, if you will.
And I think pinch running Brady Wayne for Mike Stefan was the obvious decision, because Brady Wayne, we haven't seen a whole lot of him, but what we have seen from him, he is a speedster on the base paths.
Might as well sub him in. And no offense to Mike Stefan, he's just not the fastest guy. And we've talked about base running and how you don't have to be very fast to get around, but especially you don't want to get picked off if you're a step behind. Hertz squaring the bunt is Reed Gibbs. Reed Gibbs down the first base line, advancing Brady Wing. That's all that matters, though. So he's going to advance Brady Wing to second base. 1 down. It's going to bring up another pinch hitter. Jared Groskuth is going to come into the ball game for Jake Evans. And I'm not really sure about this decision because I thought Jake Evans has been doing a decent job at the plate. But either way, we've seen Jared Groskuth go yard, Eric. Why not now?
I tell you what, Jake Evans has had a great night at the plate, no doubt, but sometimes you want to go to your big hitters.
Yeah.
You have to go to your big hitters in a situation like this with a runner in scoring position and one away, down just 1 in the bottom of the ninth. Grosguth has been a big hitter. He has struck out a lot. However, he does have some big hits.
Eric, if you want to inject a player with confidence, put him in this situation. Down 1, runner in scoring position. Can Grosguth have the hit that's going to tie this ball game up? Because a decent single could definitely score Brady Wing from second. We've seen the wheels from him. Hertz steps off the rubber, comes set again. Jared Grosguth here, coming set. Needs to be patient, but if he finds a pitch he likes, he needs to take a crack at it. 1 down. First pitch in there for strike 1. He watches it blow by. And the other negative effect of Jared Grosguth's approach at the plate, he has 14 strikeouts in the season. And I would say at least half of them have been strikeout looking.
Well, he's got to have a quality at bat, but he has to be careful at which pitches he swings at. The last one was a good take despite the fact that it was a strike.
So this one popped up back towards us, and now Jared Grosguth quickly finds himself in an 0-2 situation. But after Grosguth, we have Jack Cherno, another guy who has shown his clutchness throughout the season, so no need to worry for the Flames as they still have a steady bat coming up next.
Well, that was a good cut by Grosguth on the last pitch. It's a good fastball in the outer part of the plate. Good job. Good swing. Only it was just a foul tip, but it was still a good cut.
The 0-2 curveball, and it's missing low. Man, that was close, though. I don't know if I'd been able to lay off from it, but Jared Grosguth says, no, you will not fool me here late in the game. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Jared Grosguth. Brady Wing out on second base. He represents the tying run in this ball game. Flames have trailed ever since the jump. Here it is. This one popped back towards the screen. Jared Grosguth will stay alive. Live to see another pitch
It's a good pitch from Hertz. He has a good breaky ball.
He sure does.
Just missed with the pitch prior to that one. Grosguth, good job just to foul it away. And one thing to say is that the coaches definitely trust him to give the Flames a quality at bat and maybe get a hit here in the ninth.
1-2. Grosguth pops one up. Let's see if it stays in fair territory. Hikeley over there. It's going to get out, though. And you talk about this. I mean, Jared Grosguth just finished his freshman campaign at the Community College of Rhode Island. However, this is a kid that could easily go D1. He has Division I scouts looking at him. He's got his sophomore campaign to get better. He has this summer to make him even better. We've seen him go yard. Can he do it again here? Can he at least get a base hit? That's all we're asking for here. Stay alive as the Flames trying to battle all the way back into this one. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Jared Grosguth. 1 down. Brady Wing out on second base. Hertz delivers the 1-2 outside for the second ball. Count goes to 2-2. And man, Jared Grosguth is holding off, but these are close. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Nitros, they still continue to chirp the Flames players. Here it is. Cut on him down towards the shortstop. Jared Grosguth has his wheels on. He's there. He is there. Jared Grosguth with an errant throw by the shortstop. And how about this, folks? Jack Cherno, steady Eddie. Here we go. 1 down, runners on first and second. Flames trying to rally. It's been a chippy game this whole night. Nitros have been giving it to the Flames. Flames tried to give it back a little bit. Cordell shut it down. 1 away here in the bottom of the ninth.
That'll go as an infield hit for Grosguth. Yes, the throw was wide left, but Grosguth had it beat.
He sure
down
did.
the first base line. You might be wondering why Brady Wing didn't take third base on that one. Ground ball was to the left side of the infield. It was a good job for him to go back to second base to avoid risking being tagged out by the shortstop Benevolent.
Here's the first pitch for Cherno. Cherno watches it go by. Good decision as it's a ball. But, I mean, Jack Cherno, if he can get at least a base knock here, he's paid dividends. Wayne Walker recruiting him, the coaching staff recruiting him to come play for this team. I mean, he's really paid dividends for this team, and he's been very consistent, as we mentioned earlier. He collected a walk his last at-bat back in the 7th inning. 1-0. Outside, same exact spot. Count goes to 2-0 for Jack Cherno, and these are the kind of at-bats you need from these guys late in the game. Patience is always key, but if there's a cookie right over the middle, you have to take it.
Well, it's especially tough about this at bat is the fact that it's a lefty-lefty matchup. First time he's faced a lefty tonight. A little tougher for a left-handed batter.
2-0. Same exact spot, just getting inside, though, for a strike. Count goes to 2-1. Cherno has a couple more pitches to play with. Hertz needs to be careful not to walk. The bases loaded for Colin Matthews, who's on deck. 1 away here, bottom of the ninth. Flames trying to battle all the way back and could walk it off here. Cherno calls time as he adjusts his helmet, adjusts his gloves, gets his bat over the shoulder. 2-1. Brady Wing on second. Here's the pitch. That one right down the middle. Breaking ball, getting the strike zone. That probably is one Jack Cherno put a swung on. Now, anything close, he's going to have to fight it off.
I disagree. That is not a pitch Cherno wants to swing at. It's a beautiful breaking ball on the outside corner. If he gets contact on it, he's not going to get great contact on it unless that breaking ball hangs, which from Hertz tonight, it is not hanging.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Jack Cherno. Here it is. The payoff. Reaching. And he goes. Strikeout victim. Cherno did not want to swing at that one.
Well, that's something that a left-handed hitter would swing at more often than a right-handed batter, because you see that breaking ball come out of the hand of Hertz as a left-handed batter, and it looks like it's going to, stay in the zone. It's going to be a fastball in the zone, but it's especially tough for a left-handed batter to read it than a right-handed batter.
Pitching change being made for the Nitros. Interesting decision here is Connor Woods is going to come on. We're going to step aside, let him warm up. We'll be right back here on Team Line. Don't go anywhere. Well, welcome back to the Onondaga Flames live stream here on Team Line. If you're just joining us, hang on to your hats, folks. 2 outs. Runners on first and second with Colin Matthews. 2 away, and the Flames trail by 1. Eric Moon, Morgan Chapman here to bring it to the end. See if the Flames can come back here and tie it up or win the ball game. Colin Matthews adjusts. New pitcher is Connor Woods on the mound. First pitch from Woods, cut on and missed from Colin Matthews, and now Flames are 2 strikes away from losing this ball game.
If you're Matthews, you have to be patient at the plate. Even if you get a walk just to load the bases and get Netzel to the plate, you just have to be patient. You have to extend this game any way you can.
0-1. He went. Now he's down to an 0-2, and Colin Matthews isn't going to listen to Eric Moon's approach. He's going to be aggressive. That's just the kind of player he is, though. I mean, you kind of have to expect it from Colin Matthews. Big moment for him. Big-time spot. But now you really have to swing at anything close here and make contact. 0-2.
That's just a breaky ball. He bit on it. He took the bait from Connor Woods, and now he's down 0-2.
0-2, here it is. Connor Woods way outside, almost getting away from Washington, but he's able to corral it. Brady Wing's not going to advance. Count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes.
By the way, Morgan, have you checked your heartbeat lately?
I'm trying to find my pulse right now. I don't even know if I have one.
That's a problem, especially in this game.
It should be. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down with runners on first and second. Connor Woods, here it is, the 1-2 outside. Here we go. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Colin Matthews lays off. And like Eric mentioned, if Colin can just collect a walk, bring Mike Netzel into the ball game, whole lot of trouble for the Nitros. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. Cut on and missed, and that's how it's going to win as Washington throws the ball up and he does some sort of break dance. Haven't seen that before. I am very curious to see how this team will shake hands with each other as some choice words have been made for each other. Colin Matthews has chucked his helmet against the ground with some frustration, but that's going to shift things into the Onondaga Flames postgame show. I'm Morgan Chapman alongside Eric Moon and Eric. Flames are unable to bring it home. I don't even think these teams are going to shake hands now as the Flames just go directly to their corner. Kind of makes sense as the Nitros have showed little class here this evening here at Onondaga Community College.
Well, they haven't shown a whole lot of class. We'll see. The coaches are definitely signaling for them, trying to get them to shake hands with the Flames avoiding them, but that's something to mull on a little later. The fact of the matter in this game is that the Flames just went down early. They are a resilient squad. They were able to make this a 1-run game, but they were down 5-0.
Right.
They were down 5-0 after 5.5 innings of play. You're not going to win many ball games when you have a 5-run deficit. They were able to come back from one last week against the Saltcats, but just not quite enough tonight against the Wellsville Nitros, and they got 4 runs in the 6th inning. But in the last 3 innings, they got their chances, just they left too many runners on base. Not nearly as many as the Nitros did in the last 3 innings, but for that reason, you have to credit the pitching on both sides in those last 3 innings. It really clamped down, and that's why we didn't see a run after the 6th inning.
Well, it sure is, and now as the Nitros and the Flames finally close things up here, I mean, this was a heck of a ball game. Flames fans were on the edge of their seats throughout the whole 9th inning as some beautiful pitching was on display from Nick Garcia, and then the Flames were unable to pull off the comeback, but it's okay. They have the night off tomorrow. They'll be back in play here Friday night, and we'll have to see if they can rebound. But for Eric Moon, I'm Morgan Chapman alongside saying goodnight to everyone here at Onondaga Community College. Final from this one, the Wellsville Nitros 5, the Onondaga Flames 4.